WTBS. Superstation WTBS presents in stereo America's team, the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Delta, the official airline of the Atlanta Braves. Delta gets you there. By Canon. So advanced, Canon is the world's leader in 35mm photography. By your Toyota dealer and the all-new Toyota Supra. Performance without compromise. Who could ask for anything more? By Menon Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant. Gives you man-sized protection against perspiration, wetness, and odor. Let the wide stick give you the edge. By CNN, the world's most important network, and a proud sponsor of the 1986 Goodwill Games. And by Headline News, around the world every 30 minutes.
Hi again, number one, along with John Sterling, Skip Carey, welcoming you to another night of Atlanta Braves baseball from the stadium. Braves are red hot. They've won 5 in a row. They beat the Giants last night 5-1. They've moved to within 2 games of the lead in the Western Division. Tonight, Craig McMurtry on the mound against the veteran left-hander Vida Blue. 5 straight, 2 games out. That's good, but the Braves got some bad news last night, John, though it could have been worse than it turned out to be.
Yeah, in the 9th inning, both Ken Oberkfell and Andres Thomas colliding for looking for a ground ball and back at second base. Thomas got the worst of it, and it was feared he'd be lost for a while, but I did speak to him, just about a half hour ago in the Braves clubhouse, and he said he has a stiff neck, but it's kind of a day-to-day thing. If he feels better, he might play tomorrow. Glenn Hubbard is in the lineup tonight.
So that's not bad. Hubby's been a starter most of the year. Braves shoot for 6 in a row. I like your coat. We'll be back with the starting lineup and the play-by-play story right after this.
In the minors, you must have called it all 1,000 times, but you never lost sight of the dream.
I got a telegram for you, Tony.
Okay, thanks, Pop. Hi, babe. Hey, guess what? I got your call. Yeah. Congratulations.
You got a shot, you'll take it.
What's this, rookie umpire?
You got the heart to make it. You got the fire, that big league desire. You keep on reaching higher. You make America work and it's fun for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers.
Hi. Compliments from the gentleman over there.
This fun for you.
Good morning. I'm Reed Collins in Washington, and ahead on Daybreak, the disputed election.
That's our weather for now, but more in just about an hour, and we'll be back with more Daybreak.
Almost 11 minutes past the hour now. That's time for Dennis Dumbler. Step in and take a look at all the sports.
For a refreshing look at your world every morning, turn to Daybreak on CNN.
As you see, Craig McMurtry about to take his warm-up pitches, and here are the lineups for the 2 teams preparatory to tonight's game, the second game of a 3-game series. For the Giants, who come in 41-35, just a half game out, Joel Youngblood leads off in right field. Robbie Thompson bats second at second base. Jeffrey Leonard in the lineup tonight. He sat out last night's game. He's batting third in left field. Chili Davis having a terrific year, bats fourth in center field. One of the top hitters in the league, Chris Brown, bats fifth at third base. Harry Spillman in the lineup tonight at first base, batting sixth. Catcher Bob Melvin hits seventh. Jose Uribe at shortstop bats eighth. And pitching and batting ninth, the veteran left-hander Vida Blue. Blue is 5-4 on the year, an ERA of 3.14. He's 1-0 against the Braves this season. Lifetime, he has a record of 9-4 against Atlanta. Now the red-hot Braves, they've won 5 straight. They trail by 2 games in the West. Billy Sample leads off in right field. Playing his second game, acquired from the Yanks in that trade Sunday afternoon, Ken Griffey bats second in left field. Dale Murphy hits third in center. Bob Warner, the cleanup hitter, at first base. Ozzie Virgil bats fifth behind the plate. Rafael Ramirez back at shortstop tonight, hits sixth. Ken Oberkfell at third base, bats seventh. Glenn Hubbard in the lineup tonight, hitting eighth. At second base and pitching and batting ninth, Craig McMurtry. who won his last start. He's 1-4 on the year, an ERA of 3.83, no record this year, 1-3 lifetime against the Giants. The umpires at home plate, Steve Ripley; at first base, Fred Brocklander; at second base, Lee Wire; and at third will be Ed Montague. Well, we're all set to go at the stadium. The Braves and Giants. McMurtry goes against Joel Youngblood, and leading off the broadcast, once again, here's Skip.
Okay, John, thank you very much. Against McMurtry, Youngblood has had great success, 5 out of 12, a .417 average. He's hitting .279 for the year. Curve is high, 1 ball, no strikes. Crowd of 14,000 or so on hand tonight. A little bit outside with the fastball, 2 balls, no strikes. A little looper into short center field. That's going to fall for yet another hit by Youngblood off McMurtry. Didn't hit it hard, but hit it in a good spot. And Robbie Thompson is the batter. Thompson having a pretty good rookie year. He's hitting .264, 3 homers, 25 RBIs. He's out of West Palm Beach in Florida State. Oh, let me take that back quick. He's from the University of Florida. I'll save you, a lot of you folks, a phone call. My mistake, 0-1. But he is from West Palm, 1 out of 2. Runner at first, nobody out. Andres Thomas is day-to-day. He might play tomorrow, might be 4 or 5 days. It's up to him and his neck. Boy, it was a scary thing last night, I'm sure, when he was wheeled out of here with a neck brace and all. Nothing in 1, the count to Thompson. Runner going, ground ball to short. They picked the wrong man, and Ramirez will throw to first. Off the bag, but he made the tag for the out. Bad break for the Giant hitter. He guessed that Ramirez would cover, and he didn't.
And so if Ramirez had covered, that'd be a hit-and-run base hit. Instead, just a force out, or rather a fielder's choice play, as Horner takes a throw and they move Youngblood over to second base. The Giants really have done a lot of that this year, starting their runners.
Jeff Leonard bats, runner at second. There's 1 out. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. The Braves have now improved their home record to 20-16. The 1-0 pitch. Here it is. He's missing. Outside, 2-0. And that's good. The last couple of years, the Braves have had trouble winning in their home park. Two balls, no strikes, the count. Just missed outside. Boy, Steve Ripley's arm went halfway up. But then he put it back down, so it's 3-0. Chili Davis waits to hit next. He's having a terrific year. There's a fast strike inside corner at the knees. Davis, who bats next, is driven in 51. He's third in the league. Curve, pop foul back and out of play, and the count is full now, 3-2. And the fans battle for the souvenir. 5:35 will be TV time tomorrow. Leonard thinks McMurtry is taking too much time, and that's unusual. The last couple times out of the chute, McMurtry has worked quite rapidly. Chased a bad ball. McMurtry looks the runner back. That was ball 4. Break for a minute, 2 out. He guessed fastball, got the curve, and hit it with one hand.
And McMurtry throws a pretty good curveball. Leonard just couldn't stop himself, so he bounced back to the mound. When McMurtry had his great success in his last start, he took a lot off his curveball at times, and it served as a very effective change of pace, so he didn't throw every pitch at the same speed.
Chili Davis stands in, 293, 7 homers. As we mentioned, 51 runs driven in. Fastball high and away, 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 breaking ball for a strike. A group of police officers from Tallahassee, Florida here at the ballpark tonight. We certainly appreciate their felicitations that they send along. We're with you guys. The 1-1. Curve swung, drive, deep right center. Is the ballpark big enough? Murphy at the wall. It's out of here. It hit off the top of the fence and got over for a homer. It's 2-0. I don't know if his glove hit it, but it bounced right off the top of the fence and out of the ballpark. For Davis, number 853 RBI.
You won't see this happen too often. The ball hits directly on top of the fence. Murph goes up, and the ball hit off right on the yellow line. It's a home run and kicked over the fence. Murph just couldn't get up that high to knock it away. A 2-run home run for Davis off the top of the fence.
You know what Dale Murphy will tell you tomorrow, because we talked about this, he and I, about 3 weeks ago. Sometimes when you go to the wall, you get too close to the wall, and then when you leap. First the pitch to Chris Brown, fouled away. It's 0-1. He's hitting .335. And then when you leap, the wall impedes you, and that's what happened to Murphy that time. The 0-1. Swung, head right side, past Hubbard, another base hit. Not a good first inning for Craig McMurtry. That's the 3rd hit off it. And here's Harry Spillman, who was born in Albany, but grew up in Dawsonville, Georgia. Dawson, Georgia, went to Terrell Academy up there. His dad, Harry Sr., played for a while in the Dodgers chain. Spillman started the year with the Detroit Tigers. He's been in the big leagues previously with Cincinnati and Houston. He didn't get that one, 0-1. It's 2-0 San Francisco in the first. Fastball away, evens it up at a ball and a strike. Catcher Bob Melvin waits on deck. But there are 2 out in the inning. Brown is running. Fly ball twisting down the left side. Griffey on the run. He'll never get there. It's out of play. Hit that ball a long way to the outfield. Count goes to 1-2. The Montreal-Chicago game today was suspended in the 8th inning. First thought would be darkness, but it can't be that dark yet in Chicago, can it? Are they west of us? Yes.
Yes.
The 1-2 pitch. Instead, the first. Close. He got back.
Mack has a great pickoff move, especially for a right-hander, and he got back. Just.
Let up curve. Missed outside. It's 2-2. 2-0 Giants, top of the first. Throw to first. Close again, but he's back again. Fred Brocklander, the first base umpire. Boy, he lets you know. I wish more of them were like Brocklander and Dutch Rennert. 2-2 as the count to Spillman. Runner go way high. Virgil's throw. He's out for 20 feet. They pitched out. And Brown was a dead pigeon, and they pitched out on a 2-2. They were pretty sure that that was going to happen. Now watch Murphy here. See, he hits the wall on his way up, and that impeded his progress. Not his fault. He was on the dead run. 2 runs, 3 hits, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the first. Giants 2, Braves coming to bat.
Delta flies to the heart of Europe. London.
Why, hello, Delta.
Paris.
Bonjour, Delta.
Frankfurt, Munich, and Stuttgart.
Guten Tag, Delta.
And Shannon, Ireland.
100,000 welcome, Delta.
6 gateways to all of the heritage, tradition, and pride of Europe. All as close as a Delta jet. Europe. Delta gets you there.
I've always been afraid of 2 things, flying and good cameras. But with this Canon T70, I'm not afraid. This push-button T70 is so easy to use, I can even get the tough shots, like backlit shots. Zap! Take action shots. Bang! I can even use a zoom. Boom!
The Canon T70, so advanced it makes the tough shot simple.
I'm fearless now. Ooh.
Enter the Canon Photo Contest and win an adventure trip on the Salmon River. Details at Canon dealers.
Superstation profile, Chuck Tanner, skipper of America's team, the Atlanta Braves.
We always look at it one way, our team. We feel sorry when we lose. And I know when you fans out there feel sorry, how do you think I feel? I eat my heart out.
This team is your team, America's team. Braves versus Giants, 5:35 Eastern tomorrow.
There's a look at the Giant defense. This afternoon in the American League, Cleveland shut out Oakland 9-0. Brooke Jacoby had a home run in that game. Mel Hall had 2 of them. So did Tony Bernazard. 5 home runs for the Indians. Milwaukee got a run in the first at Baltimore tonight. Wegman against Flanagan. Toronto a run in the first at Boston against Tom Seaver. Doyle Alexander's pitching that game. Detroit failed to score in the first at New York. Tanana against Draybeck. The other action later on. Then Montreal and Chicago were suspended because of darkness after 7. Andy McGaffigan against Scott Sanderson. Tonight, the Dodgers failed to score in the first at Cincinnati. Honeycutt against Price. Philadelphia failed to score in the first at Pittsburgh. Maddox against Savoy. New York at St. Louis. San Diego at Houston later on. You see the line on Billy Semple. And Vida Blue zips one inside. 1 ball, no strikes. He pitched great baseball against the Braves out there and got a win. It will be Sample, Griffey, and Murphy in the first. Pop foul back this way. Count evens 1-1. Amy and Jason Schnur out of Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, here rooting for the Braves tonight with our good friend Pete Caberson. 2-1 is the count. Chop to third. Brown has it and throws. 1 up. Sample is retired, and Ken Griffey will be the batter. He was 1 for 5 in his debut as a Brave last night. He was hitting .310 with the Yankees before the deal was made. As he stands in, WTBS wants us to welcome 3 new affiliates who are 3 cable systems have joined us today. The Viacom Cablevision system in Suffolk County, New York, 110,000 homes. Salmons Communication in Morris County, New Jersey, 75,000 homes. And Monmouth Cablevision, Monmouth and Ocean County, New Jersey, 56,000 homes. Pretty well hit into right center field, but Chili Davis is going to get there. 2 down. So Griffey is retired. Here's Dale Murphy, who had 3 hits last night, a home run included. Murph hitting at .283 with 13 homers, 33 runs batted in. Fouled it away. It's 0-1. Boy, Blue is challenging the hitters, isn't he? He's running that fastball right up there. 2 out, nobody aboard. It's 2-0 Giants. A Chili Davis homer with a man aboard. Got that done. Curveball got away from Melvin, bounced all the way to the screen. 1-1 is the count. Blue goes to the Rosenbach. Now the veteran left-hander is ready. Line, base hit right field. So Murphy is aboard with 2 out. He went the other way and hit it hard into right.
Murph, of course, starting to heat up, and there's a good sign. When he starts shooting to right and right center field, you know that he's got his stroke down.
Horner stands in against Vida Blue. Fastball up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Horner has had no luck at all against Blue in his career. Hitting only 179 out of 53. Upstairs, 2-0. Ozzie Virgil waits on deck. There are 2 out in the inning. You can see Vida has been cooking after a somewhat slow start. 3-0 to Horner. They might just green light him. Russ Nixon coaching at third. Right out the shortstop. Uribe has it, and the inning is over. They did turn him loose. 3-0. He hit it sharply. But right at Jose Uribe, 1 hit, no runs, no errors, a runner left. We've played 1, and the Giants lead 2-0.
Hey, I hope you're eating potato chips, because I got to show you something. These Delta Gold brand potato chips are so fine, you can even see how good they taste. Check this out. Get out one of the chips you're eating and bring it up here. Now, I'll take out one of my chips, and you put your chip next to mine. You see how golden and light-colored these Delta Gold chips are? Well, that's exactly how they taste. Delta Gold chips absolutely sparkle with flavor, and the final proof is you take one out, you pop it into your mouth, and ba-bing! You are golden.
New Delta Gold brand. You can see how good they taste. 2 days to CNN's celebration of liberty.
To her, weekday afternoons were just waxy yellow build-up until she discovered romance on the Superstation matinee.
And tomorrow on the Superstation Matinee, it's the thrill of competition and the agony of falling in love for Soviet and American Olympians. The golden moment. Get swept away. The Superstation Matinee, 105 Eastern tomorrow. Superstation Profile. Chuck Tanner, skipper of America's team, the Atlanta Braves.
We always look at it one way, our team. We feel sorry when we lose. And I know when you fans out there feel sorry, how do you think I feel? I eat my heart out.
This team is your team, America's team. Braves versus Giants, 5:35 Eastern tomorrow.
Well, Nicky Nichols would like me to remind you that this telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Braves and is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. What else? Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Braves, the Turner Broadcasting System is prohibited.
Harry Spillman was at the plate when Brown was cut down stealing, so he gets to start anew here. Curveball just misses, 1-0. It will be Spillman, Bob Melvin, and Jose Uribe here in the second inning for San Francisco. Ball and a strike to count. A lot of folks, we understand, called CBS Sports today all upset. First the 1-1 fouled away because Turner Broadcasting did not air last night's game.
Yeah. What about that?
We're precluded from doing that because of a network commitment which pays all the teams in baseball a lot of money. So they had no choice, folks. 2-2.
Well, if we're precluded, that's enough for me.
See there? Hubbard digs it out. One away. Here's Bob Melvin. He's doing all right as a, for the most part, number 2 catcher, hitting .272. He has a homer and 10 RBIs. Short right field, an easy play for Billy Sample, and 2 quick outs here in the second inning. Here's Uribe hitting at .238. Melvin came over with Juan Berenguer in that trade for Dave LaPointe, Eric King, and catcher Matt Noakes. Scott Medvin, a pitcher, also came to the Giants organization in that deal. Uribe at .238 with a homer and 24 RBIs, which isn't a bad figure at all for a number 8 hitter. That's high. 1 ball, no strikes. Ramirez has to wait for it. Close, but he got him, and the inning is over. 1-2-3, nothing doing in the second. Braves will come to the plate, and they will send Virgil, Ramirez, and Oberkfell out there, down 2-0.
Bud Thunder is revved up and coming at you.
It's time for a celebration. It's time for True Test Anniversary Paint Days at True Value Hardware Stores. Give your rooms a high-hiding finish with True Test Flat Latex Wall Paint for just $4.99 a gallon. Bring out the natural texture of wood with True Test Latex Redwood Stain for only $2.98 a gallon. And beautify exterior surfaces with True Test White Latex House Paint. It's only $6.98 a gallon during anniversary paint days at most True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Only 4 days until the best meet the best. The Goodwill Game, July 5th through the 20th on Superstation WTBS.
Bottom half of the second, and Ozzie Virgil will lead it off for Atlanta. It will be Virgil, Ramirez, and Oberkfell. 2-0 Giants are. Score, 2-run homer by Chili Davis that bounced off the top of the center field fence. In the first inning, has the Giants on top here. Virgil at 223, but with 11 homers, he's driven home 30 runs. Fastball up and in, 1-0. Right in there. Virgil 2 out of 6 in his career against Blue, which doesn't quite tell you enough. That's right out of Mansfield, Louisiana. Last year was 8-8 with the Giants. Good cut, but he fouled it back. Blue has won 204 Major League games. He's lost 155. He's been a good one. Now makes his home out in Oakland, where he pitched for Charlie Finley for 8 years. Foul tipped it back, but still a 2-2 count on Virgil. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh have played an inning, and they're scoreless. Cincinnati leads the Dodgers 1-0 after an inning. The Dodgers, boy, really in a swoon. Bounced foul past third. And Chris Brown, he made an error here last night, but he's about as good a fielding third baseman as there is in the National League. You put a .335 batting average with that, and you got yourself a pretty good ball player. Again, Virgil awaits the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball, well hit down the left field line, twisting into foul territory. Is it playable? Leonard reaches in, but can't make the play.
Ozzie got under a curveball and lofted it right down the line, and there's the Giant bullpen, and Leonard gives it a good try, but it's just out of his reach.
So another 2-2 pitch will be offered up by Vida Blue. Pop foul right back here into the upper deck. It stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. The weather is supposed to be super for the weekend. Fastball high and away, 3-2. Friday night, of course, the big fireworks extravaganza. Is it fair or foul in the corner? Foul ball. He just missed a home run by inches. That is inches. Less than a foot from a home run. So we'll have the 3-2 to do all over again. Virgil steps out. Well, we got a fan below us that's getting his money's worth, isn't he? Leather lungs. The 3-2. Swung, popped him up this time. Chris Brown calls for it in short left. Keeps retreating and makes the catch, 1 out. So Virgil, after flirting with a home run, is retired. Here's Rafael Ramirez, who's back at his normal address tonight, shortstop. Rafael has been on a little bit of a tailspin with the bat. Fastball is high, 1 ball, no strikes. Ken Oberkfell moves on deck. 2-0 Giants, our second inning score. High again, it's 2-0. In that Oakland game, Pat Corrales got kicked out, Dave Stewart got kicked out, Andy Newman got kicked out. Must have been a little beanball confrontation. 3-0 the count. Randy, what did I say? 3-0 is the count.
Oh, Jeff Newman, yes.
There's the strike. What did I say?
Randy, the guy who wrote Short People.
Sorry, Jeff. The 3-1 pitch. He walked in. So the tying run comes to the plate. Ken Oberkfell will hit. Between studying moto ball and boxing, my mind is fried. Runner at first, 1 out. For Atlanta.
And boy, here's a case of taking your eye off the ball. He wanted to flip the ball to second base. He started to flip before he really had possession of the ball. Oh, but he hit it like a shot, but of course that's an error of second baseman.
And Brad Hubbard gets some time here. Hubbard just 3 out of 26 in his career against Blue. Glenn hitting .241, 3 homers, 23 RBI. The tying runs are aboard with 1 out. Up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Brown can't get there. Uribe makes a great play. They get 1. Let's see what they're going to call him. Is he out or safe? He's out. Roger Craig started out to argue. Lee Wire did give sort of a confusing sign. He called him both out and safe.
Well, it was confusing, and Chuck Tanner is going to argue it. The ball gets by Chris Brown, and Uribe really makes a heck of a play to force Oberkfell. He caught it. That was all right. He's taking the ball out of his mitt and dropped it. It was the right call by Lee Wire. Although Chuck Tanner had given Lee Wire an earful right there. But you could see that he caught the ball and was taking it out when he dropped it.
You see the safe sign the league gave there. I think that what it was indicating was there wasn't interference on Oberkfell. Now, I wonder what this conversation is about. You got the pitcher hitting, first and third, 2 out. Hubbard is no speed demon. He's not slow. He's just average speed.
But you certainly wouldn't want him running and then have McMurtry lead off the next inning. So if there was 1 out, you know that with McMurtry you'd try to squeeze. There were 2 others.
There's a strike at the knees. It's all 1. McMurtry didn't think much of that. He might try to beat 1 out anyway. He is adept at that. That's exactly what he tried to do, but he fouled it back. 0-2 on McMurtry. 2-3-1 for the Giants. 0-1-0 for the Braves. Ramirez is at third. Hubbard is at first. And the 0-2 to McMurtry, about to be forthcoming. Runner going. They throw through. Now here comes Ramirez. He is going to be safe. They got away with it. That's what Chuck Tanner told him to do. Go halfway and stop, and we'll take our chances.
Boy, give Chuck Tanner a big fat pat on the back for this. The Braves stole a run. Melvin makes a mistake. He throws through. He never should have. McMurtry's not a hitter at all. The idea is to stop midway and get caught in a rundown play while the runner comes home from third. If you get tagged out, so what? The run scores. Chuck Tanner gets credit for that. Hubbard stopped halfway, and Bob Melvin made a boo-boo.
A ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out, but it came 1 pitch too late for Valverde. His first strikeout. The Braves stole themselves a run. They got it with no hits. There was a very costly error, which makes the run unearned. And 1 runner was left. At the end of 2, your score. Giants 2, Braves 1.
When 100 nursery school kids were exposed to spinal meningitis, 2 pharmacists from Eckerd Drugs worked overtime against time itself. Mixing enough antibiotic, dose by dose, for each and every child. And through their dedication and concern, they stopped an epidemic before it started. To an Eckerd pharmacist, nothing's more important than your health.
Valvoline presents a blockbuster of epic proportions. The Valvoline Oil Rush, starring Valvoline All Climate and Super HBO with Foregard, Racing Oil, and Valvoline Turbo 5. Excitement! A spectacular money-back offer. Action! Buy 12 quarts, get a $5 rebate from Valvoline. Romance? You'll love our special oils.
I laughed, I cried, I saved $5.
The Valvoline Oil Rush, now playing at a participating store near you.
My work at the bank is really a challenge. Every day is different, but it's always demanding. So when things ease up, I go for my Milky Way right out of the fridge. Relax, think about being outdoors later. Delicious.
You get the goodness of a quarter cup of milk in every bar. There's milk, natural cane and corn sugars, and thick, thick chocolate in a Milky Way bar.
I've loved Milky Way since I was a little girl.
A Milky Way day helps you work, rest, and play.
Please be with us this Saturday at noon Eastern Time for the start of the Goodwill Games, live from Moscow. It'll include over 100,000 spectators at Lenin Stadium for the opening ceremonies, and then the next 2 weeks, the Goodwill Games will begin. The Goodwill Games. It all begins Saturday at TBS.
And our pal and comrade Tom Smith. Comrade's probably a poor choice of words, come to think of it, but our friend Tom Smith will be directing those opening ceremonies, which is a great feather in his cap.
Yes, sir. Our confrere, and they're those games and opening ceremonies in good hands with Smitty.
Vita Blue leads off the third inning. Boy, what a cut he had, but he fouled it back. He's hitting 071. 2-1 the score. Giants on top. They got theirs with muscle, a 2-run homer. The Braves got theirs with guile, a walk, an error, a double steal. Tried to bunt his way on. Pretty good bunt, but Horner will beat him to the bag. One away. Blue is retired. Here's Youngblood. He's singled and scored in front of Chili Davis.
This a drag bunt up the first baseline. If it's more towards second base, it's a base hit. But he got it too close to the line, which allowed Horner to field the ball.
So Youngblood gives Blue a little time to get back. He's now 6 out of 13 lifetime against McMurtry. Bob Brenly not catching tonight. He's 3 out of 11 against McMurtry, but 2 of those hits home runs. So we may see him later. 1 ball, no strikes. Gordy McKenzie coaches at third. Jose Morales at first for the Giants. And Randy Newman does not manage the Oakland A's.
But he's being considered. He's one of several.
Yeah. Randy Newman, Jeff Newman, and Tony La Russa. The 2-0 pitch. Just missed outside. 3-0. There's a strike. 3-1. One out, nobody aboard. He walked in, missed with a curveball. Meanwhile, Tom Seaver, pitching his first game for the Red Sox, fell behind 1-0, but after 2, Boston leads 4-1. Boy, they are really playing. Also after 2, Milwaukee 2-0 over Baltimore. After 1, the Yankees lead Detroit 2-0. The other American League action later, except for Cleveland's 9-0 shellacking of Oakland today. Robbie Thompson bats with a runner at first and 1 out. Curve outside, 1-0. Jeffrey Leonard waits on deck. 5:35 tomorrow night. The pitchers are.
Now, Scott Carell's going to pitch for the Giants.
And
I can figure it out in the rotation. It's not Palmer or Mailer or McMurtry, so it's
Zane Smith. Very good.
Elementary, my dear Skip.
Yes, great play by Virgil. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but see if this was a screwed up pitch out or what. Yeah,
I hope so.
It was supposed to be a pitch out. If not, we're in a lot of trouble. Throw to first. Close, but he's back. Thompson bounced to short his first time as they tried to play hit and run. They could do that again. And this would be a good pitch to do it on. It's 2-0. And that's what they do, and a fly ball has hit the right. Ramirez tried to decoy, but Youngblood was wise to that. 2 down. Leonard tapped to the mound his first time. Leonard has been known as Jeff throughout his career, but this year he wants to be known as Jeffrey. Okay. He fouls it back. It's 0-1. Runner at first, 2 out. Phillies and Pirates, no score after 2. Reds 1-0 over the Dodgers. That's after 2 innings of play. Right under Jeffrey's chin, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 about to be offered up. Runners scrambles back, makes it easily this time. Still 1-1 to Leonard. Well hit right center field, but Sample is back there a few steps. He's got it, and that's that in the third. The walk comes to nothing. No hits, no runs, no errors. One left. Bottom half of the third inning is upon us with the score. Giants 2, Braves 1.
From Redfield, South Dakota to Red Bank down Jersey way, it's red, white, and you all across the USA. Barbecues and pancake suppers, a red dress on a Saturday night, a real good time in your hometown, a warm place on a cold, cold night. There's a feeling in this country, a real thing's coming through. Coca-Cola Classic, red, white, and blue.
I've always been afraid of two things, flying and good cameras. But with this Canon T70, I'm not afraid. This push-button T70 is so easy to use, I can even get the tough shots, like backlit shots. Stop! Take action shots. Bang! I can even use a zoom. Boom!
The Canon T70, so advanced it makes the tough shots simple.
I'm fearless now. Ooh!
Enter the Canon photo contest and win an adventure trip on the Salmon River. Details at Canon dealers.
Saturday, let the Goodwill Games begin. Superstation WTBS presents the splendor of the opening ceremonies live from Lenin Stadium. Witness the agony and the ecstasy of the women's marathon through the streets of Moscow. The United States begins the quest for its first men's World Basketball Championship in 34 years. Plus, the best meet the best in swimming, modern pentathlon, and the U.S. women's basketball squad battles Yugoslavia. The Goodwill Games begin Saturday at noon and 8 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you in part by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
We go to the bottom half of the third inning. Oh, he's a terrific guy. She's a lovely lady. I haven't met the kids yet, but 32 years. That's terrific. Billy Sample leads off the third inning. He bounced to third his first time. That's well hit, but it's hooking. Foul. 0-1. He really is a first ball hitter. Oh, and 1 the count to Sample. He's leading off the bottom of the third. That's well hit in the left center. It's going to roll deep. Kelly Davis cuts it off. Sample goes for 2, and he's in there. And a good start to the third inning.
Billy, after missing one, then got one. We'll look at the pitch again from Vida Blue. Blue has not taken a step back because of age. He throws the fastball almost all the time, and that one Billy really ripped to left center field. So the Braves get the tying run to second with no one out. Now Ken Griffey's job is to pull the ball to the right side of the infield and get Billy over to third.
Griffey came into the game hitting .393 against Blue. Well, that's surprising for a left-hand hitter. This guy is tough. 1 ball, no strikes. Just missed. 2-0. It may just be an impression, but it seems to me that Steve Ripley really has a small strike zone.
He's accused of that. He really is.
But I'm not knocking him. He's small for both sides. Line to the mound. Blue made a great catch. That was ticketed for center field. Just keep hitting him like that, Ken. You'll be all right. 1 away.
Griffey hits a bullet. Vida Blue finishes up okay, and well, that's tough. And when you end up throwing a pitch to the plate, you're probably 55 feet away, and the way that baseball is hit, that's a first reaction. Blue just threw up the glove and it hung in the webbing.
Here's Dale Murphy. He ripped a single to right his first time. Look out. A little calling card there. 1 ball, no strikes. The tying run is at second base with 1 away. Bob Horner waits on deck, but right now it's Dale Murphy. Just missed outside. 2-0. It's a muggy night in Atlanta. Three balls, no strikes. Well, they turned Horner loose on a 3-0 pitch. In the first, there were 2 out in that spot. Let's see what they do with Murphy. We'll never know it. Second walk for Blue. Bob Horner bounced out his first time.
You know, you get things in your mind. I just wrote down intentional walk, which of course is wrong. It was a walk, but he didn't want to throw the ball over the plate against Murph. Now we'll see how he does with Bob Horner.
The Braves playing their 76th game of the year. Downstairs, 1-0. That's 5 straight bad ones. The home run crown in the National League is there for the taking. Mike Marshall leads it with 17. That's 6 in a row. Glenn Davis has 16. Franklin Stubbs, Dave Parker, 15. Mike Schmidt, Hubie Brooks have 14 each. Horner and Murphy have 13, so they're within striking distance. Roger Craig in the middle of your picture. The 2-0 pitch. There's a drive for foul. Boy, did he rip that. It's 2-1. Sample at second, Murphy at first. There's 1 out. 2 balls and a strike to Bob Horner. Line center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Here comes Sample. The throw to the plate. Here's going to be safe. The game is tied. RBI number 48 for Horner. Murphy stopped at second.
Joey Davis had a great chance to get him. You see a very low fastball. Horner went way down to get it. Sample stopped just about now to make sure the ball is in. Then he turns on the Jets, and the throw is kind of weak. And so Billy scores standing up. And the Braves have tied it up at 2.
Frank Williams up and throwing in the bullpen for the Giants. Ozzie Virgil, the batter, he flirted with a home run his first time. He rips that into left center. Leonard on the run. Oh, what a catch he made. He took a double away from Virgil with a brilliant running catch. Another ball really tagged. Highway robbery by Jeffrey Leonard.
Remember, the only other out was the line drive by Griffey that Vida Blue caught. Jeffrey Leonard makes a heck of a play. I mean, that ball was really tagged by Virgil. And Leonard got into the gap and reached out and made a terrific catch. And that saved the Giants at least 1 and maybe 2 runs, because don't forget, Leonard, if he missed that ball, he would have been on the ground and the ball had been back to the fence.
Norm Sherry to the mound, the pitching coach, to talk things over here. There's Williams getting ready. And Rafael Ramirez will be the batter with 2 on and 2 out. First couple innings, Blue really looked good, but this inning he has been pasted. The Braves got their first run without benefit of a hit in the second. Sherry heads back to the Giant dugout.
One along with the walk to Murph in this inning. The other 4 guys have hit line drives. The double by Sample. That great catch by Leonard off of Virgil. The line drive back to Blue. And, of course, the base hit by Horner.
Ramirez walked and scored the first run. Back in the second. The hits are even at 3. The runs are even at 2. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Oberkfell is on deck. But Ramirez will have to do something for Ken to get a shot here in the third. Two and up. Two balls, no strikes. Vida Blue. Ramirez looks at a strike over the outside edge. They have a radar gun here tonight, and Blue's fastball has been clocked at 89, which isn't sensational, but certainly isn't bad. The gun is up here in the press level. 2 balls and a strike is the count. Almost hit him inside. 3-1. Horner at first, Murphy at second. There are 2 out. A run is in. See what he throws him. 3-1. Fastball almost hit him. They're loaded. Third walk for Blue. An interesting statistic. It's the first time Ramirez has walked twice in the same game all year. He's tough to walk, no doubt about it.
I think it's only the 7th time he's walked all season or so. So when you walk him, you are a little wild.
Oberkfell reached on an error his first time, hit the ball very hard. He's the man Blue has to get to stay in the game, I would guess. Boy, he had a great cut at a fastball, but he fouled it back, 0-1. The Giants grabbed a 2-0 lead in the first. The Braves have battled back to tie it, and they try to take the lead here. The runners lead, the 0-1. Curve high, 1-1. Vida again looks in. He is drenched with perspiration already on this muggy night. 2 balls and a strike. Murphy from third, Horner from second, Ramirez from first. 2-1 to Oberkfell. Line right field, base hit. 1 run is in. Horner around third. He will score. The throw to the plate is cut off. Oberkfell races for second. He is out. But both runs score. Oberkfell drives in his 28th and 29th runs of the year. Murphy scores, so does Horner. And the Braves have taken the lead. You see the play again. We go to the fourth. Atlanta 4, San Francisco 2.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
These days, Johnny Bench's bench is at the 19th hole. While my buddy finishes, I'll show you why you get a championship finish with Krylon spray paint. I'll spray this bench with Krylon, this one with the other leading brand. Krylon goes on smooth. No runs, no drips, no errors.
And it dries to the touch in 12 minutes.
1 hour later, the other brand's still wet.
Yeah, time to go. What'd you shoot? 200.
Hey, same as in the majors.
Yeah, what are all those flags for?
Krylon dries faster for a smooth, professional finish.
Delta flies to the heart of Europe. London.
Why, hello, Delta.
Paris.
Bonjour, Delta.
Frankfurt, Munich, and Stuttgart.
Guten Tag, Delta.
And Shannon, Ireland.
100,000 welcome, Delta.
6 gateways to all of the heritage, tradition, and pride of Europe. All as close as a Delta jet. Europe. Delta gets you there.
That'll be Zane Smith against Scott Garrelts tomorrow night, 5:35 Eastern Time. One of those cocktail hour games here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Braves have come from 2 back to take a 2-run lead. It's 4-2 at the end of 3. We go to the 4th. Chili Davis will lead it off if they ever stop that music, which they finally do. So Chili stands in. He touched McMurtry up for a 2-run homer in the first. And to tell you how he does this time, here once again, John Sterling.
Okay, thank you, Skip. And the Braves on the long end of a 4-2 lead. Chili Davis really having a terrific year. He kind of typifies what the Giants have done in about face. I mean, a 180-degree about face from last year. That's outside. With that 2-run home run, Chili now has 53 RBIs. He's 1 back of the leader, Gary Carter of the Mets. Last year, the Giants were the worst hitting team in the National League. Worst hitting, lowest scoring team. And this year, they are the second leading hitting team, and they have scored the second most runs, which probably is the most important offensive category. There's a strike, 2-1. A lot of credit goes to Roger Craig and his effect on the pitching staff, but the Giants are where they are because they have scored runs. There's Roger in the dugout. McMurtry behind 3-1. Since going in the rotation, Craig has had 3 starts. He had a very poor one against Los Angeles, a very good one against Cincinnati, and then he finally won a ball game in his last start against the Padres. Now the count goes full on Chili. Chris Brown on deck, then Harry Spillman. We're in the top of the 4th, and the Braves lead it 4-2, and they really roughed up Vida Blue in that bottom of the 3rd, hitting nothing but line drives. Even the outs were hit hard. The fastball misses outside. Chili Davis is on. As you know, you follow the Braves, Craig McMurtry's problem is control. He has a very good arm. In his win against the Padres, he did not walk a batter. He's walked 2 tonight. Chris Brown, the 3rd leading hitter in the league. Ramirez couldn't get the ball out of his glove, then gets Chris Brown. He had a play on Chili Davis. He just couldn't get the ball out. So Davis moves up. And we'll see that play again as Ramirez got the ball. I think he had trouble getting it out. He did. So he had to reach twice for it. Then he decides he better go to first base. It's lucky he has a good arm. There's Rafi back as short. I mentioned this on the open for those who missed it. Gee, shame on you, but I did talk to Andres Thomas. He has a bit of a stiff neck, and he really hopes to be able to play tomorrow. It's kind of a day-to-day thing. He'll know when he gets up and gets onto the ballpark. Here's Harry Spillman with one out. He takes the fastball high outside, ball one. The Giants' regular first baseman is the rookie Will Clark. He has just come off the DL, so they're playing both Spillman and Mike Aldretti, who played last night. He's another left-hand hitter. Obi gives it a look, but it'll be out of play. Spillman waited on the pitch, lines it to left for the base hit. Griffey comes to the plate. A high throw is not in time, and it allows Spillman to go on to second base. So Griffey misses the cutoff man. That hurts. Now Spillman's in scoring position, and it's a 4-3 ball game.
Harry just guides this ball to left field as a high curveball, a bad pitch by McMurtry. And here's where Griffey makes his mistake. It was a close enough play, but you gun the throw low. At least you keep the runner out of scoring position.
Well, the Giants have the tying run at second with one out. And here's the catcher, Bob Melvin. And the curveball misses outside, ball one. 3-4-1 for the Giants, 4-4-0 for the Braves. We're in the top of the fourth. It does not look like McMurtry and Blue will be around for the finish. The curve misses 2-0. The RBI, by the way, was Spillman's first of the year. He's only been up 13 times now for the Giants. Runner will stop at second as Ramirez throws out Melvin two-way. Now the shortstop, Jose Uribe. You saw Spillman nodding his head at third base coach Gordy McKenzie, who was flashing him 2 outs and telling him, when it's hit, you run. Anything to the outfield, try to score. The pitcher would be up next. Uribe grounded to short his first time. He bounces the curve foul, strike one. San Diego at Houston tonight. The Padres knocked him off last night. Braves just 2 games out. Giants a half game out. And the Padres only 3 games out. Well, that's some race. 4 teams within 3 games. Frank Williams is warming in the Giant bullpen, so the Giants might pinch it for Blue if Uribe gets on. Glenn Hubbard makes the play. The Giants get a run on a hit. And leave one at the end of 3.5 innings of play. The Braves 4, the Giants 3.
Hi, I'm Dale Murphy. I want to tell you about 2 exciting ways to identify with your Atlanta Braves. The Braves Clubhouse Collection Catalog and the Braves Clubhouse Store. With the Braves Clubhouse Collection Catalog, you can order T-shirts and sports shirts in many different styles. You can purchase official jerseys, jackets, and caps, as well as replica apparel. We also offer bats, balls, pennants, and a big selection of gift and novelty items. To order your catalog today, send your name, address, and $1 to Braves Catalog, P.O. Box 4006, Atlanta, Georgia, 30302. You'll receive a coupon worth $1 towards your first purchase. And in Atlanta, you can shop in person for Braves apparel, novelties, and tickets at the Braves Clubhouse Store located in the Omni International. From the youngest fan to the adult, men and women, we have what you want in the Braves Clubhouse collection. And you know it's official because you've purchased directly from the Atlanta Braves.
Good morning. I'm Reed Collins in Washington, and ahead on Daybreak, the disputed election.
That's our weather for now, but more in just about an hour. We'll be back with more Daybreak.
Almost 11 minutes past the hour now. That's time for Dennis Dumbler. Step in and take a look at all the sports.
For a refreshing look at your world every morning, turn to Daybreak on CNN. Wednesday, Superstar Summer continues with Glenn Ford. He's a bounty hunter with a reputation.
Now we'll find out if he's as good a man as they say he is.
And a grudge.
Dead or alive.
Glenn Ford is Santee. 8:20 Eastern on the Superstation, Wednesday night.
Well, there's the line score. Vida Blue completing his warm-up tosses as we get ready for the bottom of the fourth. Blue was hit very hard last inning, able to get out of it as Ken Oberkfell was thrown out as the Giants did hit the cutoff man. So it'll be Glenn Hubbard leading off this inning. Hubby, then Craig McMurtry in the top of the order, Billy Sample. Hubby walks to the plate leisurely. We're at the ballpark in Atlanta. Skip Carey, John Sterling with you. And you've gotten here in plenty of time to see the bottom of the fourth. Jose Uribe. It's a private joke, makes the play one away. The Mets failed to score in St. Louis. Cardinals coming to bat. Well, that Bob Ojeda, what a trade that was. The Red Sox had another good pitcher they gave up as they gave up Ojeda to the Mets in the trade. And Ojeda has won 9 games for New York. Shut him out last night. Mack swings and misses.
Tom Seaver thinks he has gone to heaven. He's ahead 7-1 after 3 for the Red Sox.
Boy, yes, sir. He's going to really help them win a game here and there. The Red Sox might just hold that lead. I know New England doesn't believe that. Talk to friends of mine out there. They don't really believe it yet. They're afraid to believe. 1-1 on Mack. He was at the plate when the Braves really stole a run in the second inning. Glenn Hubbard went to second base on a steal. Bob Melvin made a mistake and threw to second base. Glenn just stopped in the baseline. And the runner from third base for the Braves, Rafael Ramirez, came home on what was a double steal. McMurtry is struck out 2-away. That's a second strikeout for Vida, both times Mack. I don't know if you had a piece of... Did you have a piece of that cake tonight? No. In the press room? Marshall Mann's wife, Patsy, made a fabulous cake.
Oh, good for her.
We want to thank Patsy for that. Maybe after the game.
I knew just from knowing Marshall that Patsy was a good cook.
Me too. Me too. That's fouled away. Deep down the left field line, the count 0-2. Billy Sample led the uprising last inning with a double. He's 1 for 2. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Braves lead at 4-3.
Well, that's one nobody picked, if it comes to be. Nobody I know picked the Boston Red Sox to win that division.
No. That's line to deep left center again. In pursuit is Davis. It's down and through. 1 out off the fence. It'll be another double for Sample. There have been some shots hitting this ballpark tonight. Oh, Billy on at second with 2 outs.
Billy only had 1 double all year coming into this game. That's his second, and there's a pretty good tip-off that Blue doesn't have his good heater. That was a fastball up and in, and he turned on it and pulled it into left center.
When Vida Blue beat the Braves out in San Francisco a few weeks ago, he threw just about all fastballs. He hasn't changed his pitching at all with the onset of years. He throws the fastball. Of course, in the old days, you wouldn't turn on Vida Blue's fastball, the Blue Blazer. Here's Ken Griffey. Hit it hard last time, but right at Blue, and he takes a strike. Griffey 0 for 2. Hitting .310 as a Yankee with 9 homers and 26 RBIs. A lifetime 300 hitter. And if he continues to hit like that, a great acquisition by the Braves. Really needed another hitter in their lineup. Probably he'll bat fifth behind Murphy and Horner when a right-hander pitches. There's the curveball in for a strike 0-2. Not only the Red Sox in first place, Skip, but their lead is just about as good as the Mets. They have a 9-game lead in the loss column over the second-place team.
The difference in people's minds, including mine, is you sort of expected it from the Mets, but the Reds say you keep thinking about the Yankees and the Blue Jays, Detroit, Baltimore.
Sample at second, 2 outs. It'll be an 0-2. They waste the fastball high outside, 1-2. I talked to Ken Griffey just for a moment or so in the clubhouse tonight. You get the feeling very happy to be here. Because we kidded about the Yankees and all the problems surrounding the team, and he's looked over at Chris Chambliss. He said, yeah, Chris knows all about them too. Leonard in left field will make the catch near the track. On the track makes the catch, and Vida gets out of the inning. No runs on a hit. Braves leave 1. At the end of 4, Atlanta leads it 4-3.
Richard Petty talks about his all-time driving headaches.
Daytona 76. That was definitely a goodie. Charlotte 72. That was another goodie. Michigan 84. That was a real goodie. I've won over 200 races, but I've had over 700 headaches. So just take it from me. Goodies gets rid of the pain fast, and that's what counts.
Goodies headache powders and extra strength tablets.
Right now, your body's thirsty for more than water. Gatorade Thirst Quencher quenches the thirst in your throat while it helps put back the potassium, fluids, and minerals your whole body's thirsty for. Quench Kids Gatorade is thirsty for that deep down body thirst.
Valvoline presents a blockbuster of epic proportions. The Valvoline Oil Rush, starring Valvoline All Climate and Super HPO with Foregard, Racing Oil, and Valvoline Turbo 5. Excitement! A spectacular money-back offer. Action! Buy 12 quarts, get a $5 rebate from Valvoline. Romance? You'll love our special oils.
I laughed, I cried, I saved $5.
The Valvoline Oil Rush, now playing at a participating store near you.
Tomorrow night, the Giants series wraps up. On Thursday night, Montreal moves in, the first of a 4-game series. Left-hander Joe Hesketh will pitch for Montreal, and David Palmer, who pitched that brilliant game Sunday, will go for the Braves. Montreal in here for 4 games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday afternoon games, by the way.
And they'll be delayed on TBS to a 6 o'clock start, I understand, because of the Goodwill Games festivities.
Mike Aldretti will pinch hit for Vida Blue, and he takes curveball for a strike. Aldretti played very well against the Braves out in San Francisco. He's a collegian from Stanford. Giants have a very young team. There's another strike, and the count 0-2. Aldretti finding it tough going in the bigs. He's hitting just .202, a homer and 8 RBIs. Oh, what a play by Ramirez. It wasn't hit that hard, but Rafi had to cover ground and time it. He stole a base hit from Aldretti.
Not a good 0-2 pitch. McMurtry disgusted with that, but Ramirez saves him some embarrassment.
0-1 down here in the top of the 5th. Now the top of their order, Joel Youngblood. Murph in center, 2-away. Ernie Johnson, Pete Van Wern will be by in the bottom half of the inning. We'll move on over to radio. Look for you early tomorrow. It's a 5:35 start.
Dick David of the TBS staff like to say hello to his family in Willingboro, New Jersey, looking in today.
Here's Robbie Thompson and the curveball outside, ball 1. So the sidearmer, Frank Williams, will be the Giants pitcher in the bottom of the 5th. And Vida being pinch hit for by Aldretti. Two-way, bases empty. Ramirez from the deep hole. Can he make the play? Yes, he can. For the Giants, 3 up and 3 down, top of the 5th. At the end of 4.5 innings of play, the Braves 4, the Giants 3.
On July 4th, the fireworks will just be the beginning. World Championship basketball, boxing, cycling, diving, figure skating, gymnastics, judo, modern pentathlon, rowing, swimming, team handball, tennis, track and field, volleyball, water polo, weightlifting, yachting. On July 5th, America's celebration continues when the world comes together for 16 days. The Goodwill Games coming to Superstation WTBS.
It takes know-how and time and more than a little pride to turn an idea into a premium quality product. There's no better example than our premium plug. And now, our new Taylor's Pride Leaf Chewing Tobacco. It's made from hand-selected tobaccos and the choicest flavorings blended just right. So taste the premium quality in new Taylor's Pride Leaf.
Hello, Wilson. Some party, some pool, and the water is so sparkling, blue, clear, and mine is so dull. My pool stays beautiful with BioGuard, and no problems. Not with BioGuard. You even get free water analysis. Free? Join the party. Oh, Wilson, bring your pool to BioGuard.
Make your pool a party. BioGuard Pool and Spa Chemicals. Call 1-800-874-8000.
We'd like to remind you to stay tuned after the game for the sports report. All the up-to-date scores of the other games and everything else going on in the world of sports. That's right after the game tonight, right here on the Superstation. Pete Van Weer and Ernie Johnson joining you now. Frank Williams, the new San Francisco pitcher, as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. He was just called up from Phoenix a few days ago. He is making only his 5th appearance. Has not given up a run yet in 4 1/3 innings of relief work. He replaces Vida Blue, who worked 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Braves lead at 4-3, and Dale Murphy leads off. He has singled and walked. Murph getting that bat going again. He has 6 hits in his last 7 official at-bats. And his batting average, which was down in the low 270s, now back up to 286. Fouled away, 0-1. Williams has bounced back and forth between Phoenix and San Francisco for the last 3 years. Here's the 0-1. Fouled away again. And it's 0-2 on Murphy. Horner will follow, then Ozzie Virgil. Here's the 0-2 from Williams. Didn't get the breaking ball. Murphy out of there on strikes. 1 man gone in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
He comes a little bit from third, and the breaking ball is on the outside corner for the strikeout.
Now Bob Horner, who has hit into a force play and single. He drove in a run with his base hit back in the 3rd. Horner now with 48 RBIs. He's up near the top of the league in that category. Gary Carter of the Mets leads with 54, so Horner only 6 off the lead. And there's a liner right at the shortstop, Jose Uribe. They had the overshift on in the infield, and Horner this time hit right into it. So there are 2 down in the 5th.
Take another look at it. Here's another curve.
It's lined right to the shortstop. Now against Blue, every Brave went up there knowing that they're going to get a fastball to hit. It's just a question of when, so keep looking for the fastball. Against Williams, you know he's going to throw you a sidearm curve if you're a right-handed batter. Even lefties will get it, but you can look for a curve. You're going to get one.
Virgil takes outside, ball one. Ozzie has popped to third and fly to left. 4-3 Atlanta, bottom half of the fifth inning. Braves trying to win their sixth game in a row. There's the curve, little check swing tap right back to the mound. Frank Williams has a very easy inning. Atlanta goes down 1-2-3. We've played 5 in Atlanta. No change in our score. Braves 4, Giants 3.
Street beat. Beat, beat. Please beat.
No matter how you treat your feet, Dr. Scholl's makes you feel like dancing with Dr. Scholl's foot powders that soothe, foot sprays that deodorize, athletes' foot products that cure.
Funky feet. Funky feet.
Dr. Scholl's has all kinds of comfort for all kinds of feet right here.
Dr. Scholl's makes you feel like dancing.
Puzzled about which airline has the best buy? Numbers are one thing, and Delta saves you up to 70%. A choice of destinations is another, and Delta has over 100. Then there's Delta's fleet of modern spacious jets. Full service with no added charges, and best of all, personalized service from the Delta pros. Once you bring everything together, flying is no longer a puzzle. That is, if you fly Delta. Delta gets you there.
Tonight, Warren Beatty and Goldie Hawn have planned a perfect bank robbery. Dollars, 10:35 Eastern on the Superstation tonight.
Superstation Profile, Chuck Tanner, skipper of America's team, the Atlanta Braves.
We always look at it one way, our team. We feel sorry when we lose. And I know when you fans out there feel sorry, how do you think I feel? I eat my heart out.
This team is your team, America's team. Braves versus Giants, 5:35 Eastern tomorrow.
There you see the totals as we go to the top half of the sixth inning. It'll be Jeffrey Leonard, Chili Davis, and Chris Brown up against Craig McMurtry, who was trying to win a game as a starting pitcher for Atlanta for the first time since 1984. His only win this year came in relief. Last year, McMurtry was winless. Leonard 0 for 2. He's been thrown out pitcher to first, and he's flied to right. They're underway in Houston. No score between the Padres and the Astros at the end of an inning. Straight away center field, not too deep. Dale Murphy in waiting. And he's got it, one down. So one pitch, one out here in the sixth. If the Braves hold on and win here, and if San Diego defeats Houston, you talk about a close race. Houston would still be on top. The Giants would be a half game out. The Braves would be 1 game out, and San Diego 2 games out. That could be the way the National League West looks at the end of the night. Chili Davis accounted for 2 of the Giants' runs when he hit his 8th homer of the year in the first inning. He walked in the 4th, later scored. Fouled away, 0-1. Chili Davis, unlike most switch hitters, usually a switch hitter, if he has any power at all, shows more power from one side of the plate than the other. Not so with Davis this year. He has 8 homers, 4 of them left-handed, 4 of them right-handed. He's had a lot more at-bats left-handed, however. Here's the 0-1 pitch, the breaking ball fouled away. And McMurtry out in front, 0-2. I want to remind you to check out this week's copy of TV Guide, Goodwill Games, on the cover this week, and inside a complete schedule of all the events in the Goodwill Games, which begin this Saturday.
Does it have motor ball?
I'm sure it does.
Okay.
Up high, 1-2 the count.
Skip getting ready for his trip over there. Had a copy of Motorball Illustrated with him when he got to the ballpark tonight. Outside, 2-2. One man out. Braves lead it by a run. Here's the 2-2 to Chili Davis. High and away. Full count, 3-2. Same two clubs tomorrow night. Scott Garrelts against Zane Smith. And then it's the Montreal Expos coming to town for a 4-game holiday weekend series.
Early game tomorrow, 5:35.
Here's the payoff pitch now to Chili Davis. And he walked him. That is the third walk issued by McMurtry. Twice Chili Davis has drawn him. And Chris Brown steps in. He is singled and grounded out to short. Neither the Padres nor the Astros score in the second, so they go to the third now at the Dome. 0-0. A pitch out on the first pitch. Nothing was on. Ball one. Braves bullpen active now. Right-hander Jeff Dedman and left-hander Ed Olwine begin to loosen. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Downstairs, 2-0. The runner at first, Chili Davis. He has 10 stolen bases this year, but he's also been caught stealing 10 times. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Pitch out again. Boy, that takes a little courage to call a pitch out with a count 2-0. Because now you're going to make McMurtry throw a strike. It's 3-0 on Chris Brown.
Seen some funny things here tonight. That pitch out and then a double steal with a pitcher batting.
He gets the strike to make it 3-1, but again, he'll have to come in with a good pitch.
Got to stay alert with Chuck Tanner. That you very seldom see with a pitcher batting 2 outs, first and third. Try anything because you want the pitcher to get a base hit or make out. You don't want him to lead off the next inning, and it worked perfectly. They got a run.
And right now, the Braves lead by 1. That could be the run that makes the difference. Chili Davis chased back. McMurtry with that good move. He hasn't had as many pickoffs the last couple of years as he did that first year, and he picked off 7. The one reason is everybody knows about the move now. They don't get quite as big a lead.
Might add on the pitch outs. Tanner calls them, and Virgil can call them. Both will call pitch out.
Again, Davis back. And again, the play fairly close. Still 3-1 on Chris Brown.
Got a feeling that Tanner on a 2-0 probably called that pitch out.
Here's the 3-1 with a runner going. Bouncing ball to third. Oberkfell will have to forget about the runner at second. But he throws on Chris Brown easily at first for out number 2. So the Giants stay out of the double play by sending the runner. And now Harry Spillman steps in. He drove in a run with a base hit back in the 4th. In the second, he grounded out to second. McMurtry deals. Outside, ball 1. Tying run down at second base. Top half of the 6th inning. Here's the 1-0 way high. 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch coming. That caught the outside corner. 2-1. Dedman, the right-hander. Olwine, the lefty. In the Atlanta bullpen. 2 men out here. 2-1 pitch coming. Little looping fly ball. Shallow center field. It's going to fall in. Base hit. And the ball game is going to be tied. Chili Davis racing home. We've got a 4-4 game. Harry Spillman drives in his second run of the night and of the season for the Giants. with a little Texas League single into left center.
It's not how hard you hit him. It's where. A little flare to left center, just over the head of Ramirez. And here's Melvin.
Spillman at first now with 2 outs. Catcher Bob Melvin 0 for 2 steps in. He's flied to right and grounded out to short. Rolled toward short. Rafael Ramirez to second in time for the force to end the inning. But the Giants have tied it up here, picking up a run on a hit, and they leave one. We've played 5.5, and it's a brand new ball game. All tied up 4-4.
Nothing escapes the eye of Maxim. The world's first SLR with built-in autofocus, Minolta Maxim focuses by itself. Sharp, fast. Only the human eye focuses faster. With Minolta Maxim, you even get unexpected shots that would have gotten away. The incredible Maxim system.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Give me a light. No, Bud Light. If you just ask a light beer.
Subscribe now to Super Sports News, the official magazine of the Atlanta Braves. In your first issue, will feature stories on Zane Smith, Gene Garber, and Andres Thomas. Plus, the Braves' wives reveal their husbands' favorite recipes. As a new subscriber, you'll also receive a full-color Braves calendar absolutely free. Just send $11.95 for the next 12 issues to Super Sports News, Post Office Box 89162, Atlanta, Georgia, 30312.
We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. I'm sure you heard earlier that today is Russ and Glenda Nixon's 32nd wedding anniversary. It's also Glenda's mom and dad, Gene and Glenn Carter's 53rd wedding anniversary. And they're watching up in Cincinnati tonight. And Russ and Glenda want to send their best. Rafael Ramirez leads off the bottom half of the 6th. He's been up twice, and he's walked both times, and that is hard to do, to walk Rafael Ramirez twice in a game. He's only walked 8 times all year. Williams delivers a strike, 0-1. Ramirez, Oberkfell, Hubbard, then the pitcher, Jeff Dedman, continues to throw in the Atlanta bullpen, so we'll probably see a pinch hitter if we get to the pitcher's spot in this inning. Grounded by the third baseman, Chris Brown. Base hit, Rafael Ramirez. Now we'll see if that gets something started here in the bottom half of the 6th. That's hit number 6 for Atlanta, the first off Frank Williams. Ken Oberkfell has reached on an error, and he has singled. His single drove in 2 runs, giving Oberkfell 29 RBIs on the season. That's only 6 away from his RBI total of a year ago. He might catch that by the All-Star break. See if Chuck Tanner has him bunting here in a tie ball game. Ramirez chased back. Rafael, who stole home back in the 2nd, now has 10 stolen bases on the season.
Had 2 last year. That's all for the season.
Line toward short. It's going to be a double play. Uribe to Thompson to first. Well, the Braves took a chance, let Oberkfell swing away, hit the ball hard, but right at the shortstop. 6-4-3 it goes.
Hot hitters you usually let swing, and he hit that ball hard, but right at the shortstop. An easy double play.
Now Glenn Hubbard, the batter, with 2 men down, bases empty. Hubbard is hit into a force play and grounded out to short. First pitch is inside, ball 1. Frank Williams, a pitcher that when he first signed with the Giants, they tried to change him. He was a side armor. They tried to get him back to a more overhand delivery. He didn't have any success at all, was almost released. Then he started going back to the sidearm motion. Worked his way all the way up to the major leagues.
You know, one pitching coach said the natural way to throw really is sidearm and underhand. That's
They
the way
say it's less wear and tear on your arm.
That's the way your arm is hanging rather than going up on top.
There's a good breaking ball, 1-2. 2 men out. We're tied 4-4. The bottom half of the 6th inning. Pete Van Weeren, Ernie Johnson with you from Atlanta.
How many softball pitchers have you seen with rotator cuff?
Very true.
You wonder.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That missed outside. 2-2.
If a sidearm or an underhander gets a sore arm, it's usually because they're snapping the ball and they're stepping toward third and throwing across their body, and that will cause a problem.
Here's the 2-2. Came a little more overhand with that pitch.
He's doing everything.
But he missed inside. The count full now, 3-2. Here's the payoff. He walked him. That's the first walk issued by Williams, and now we'll get Chris Chambliss on as a pinch hitter for Craig McMurtry. So Chuck Tanner calling on the bomb squad here with 2 men out, runner at first in a tie ball game. Chambliss hitting .373, 1 homer, 6 RBIs. He's been part of a Braves bench that has been the best in the league. Braves pinch hitters in 114 at-bats this year have 31 RBIs. There's one of the official bomb squad hats. That's the hard hat. They've got the soft leather type, too. Summit meeting at the mound. Norm Sherry talks it over with Williams, Uribe, Melvin, and Thompson.
Sherry, a catcher in his day, and he's a pitching coach. That happens on occasion. Rube Walker for many years, New York Met pitching coach, although he was a catcher in his playing day, and also same duties here under Joe Torre.
So Williams with the runner at first, Chambliss at the plate in a 4-4 game, bottom half of the 6th inning. Braves pinch hitters hitting .298 for the year with 31 RBIs in only 114 at-bats. First pitch to Chambliss is low, ball 1. If an everyday player had 31 RBIs in 114 at-bats, you're looking at 140 or 50 RBIs if he plays a full season. That's how effective Braves hitters have been coming off the bench this year. It's really been remarkable. Here's the 1-0. That caught the outside corner. A ball and a strike on Chambliss. This is one reason why the Giants originally tried to change Williams. A lot of pitching instructors don't feel that a right-hander can go sidearm to a lefty or vice versa. A left-hand hitter gets a real good look at the ball when Williams is on the mound. Here's the 1-1. Downstairs, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 delivery. A little chopper hit toward first. Spillman will field it. He'll race over and tag Chambliss. And the inning is over. So nothing doing for the Braves in the 6th. They leave a runner. We've completed 6, still tied. Giants and the Braves at 4-4.
You stepped up. You stepped up.
We go to the top half of the 7th inning. Jeff Dedman making his 24th appearance, a 3-3 record with a couple of saves and a 2.95 earned run average. He replaces McMurtry, who worked 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 3. And and did not record a strikeout. That's a little bit unusual for Craig McMurtry. Hitters 8, 9, and 1 in the order due up for the Giants. That'll be Uribe. Frank Williams has come out on deck. It remains to be seen whether he'll hit or not. Right-hander Jeff Robinson is up in the Giants bullpen. Might depend on if Uribe reaches or not. If Uribe reaches, they might let Williams hit and try to bunt him over. There's Robinson. And now Uribe will step in to lead off the 7th. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Giants. 4 runs, 6 hits for Atlanta. Uribe nothing for 2 tonight. He is grounded out to short, and he is grounded out to second. Dedman's first pitch misses, ball 1. Uribe got off to a fast start with the bat, but he's tapered off of late. Since the 1st of June, only hitting about 200. Overall for the year now, 236. That'll be out of play. A ball and a strike on Uribe. There's Craig McMurtry, who will have to wait for another try to pick up that first win as a starter in 2 years. He worked 6 and allowed 4 runs. And we're tied at 4. The game now in the hands of the bullpens.
Red Sox still winning, leading Toronto 7-3. They're now in the 5th. That's Tom Seaver with his first start.
1 ball, 1 strike on Uribe. All the way to the screen, 2-1. And one more birthday to announce here. Lacey Winters, Maxton, North Carolina, celebrates birthday number 86 on this first day of July. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Ground ball deep short by Ramirez. Base hit left field. So Uribe starts it off with an opposite field single. Now we'll see. They will let Williams bat for himself. Well, everybody in the ballpark knows what's coming here. A bunt.
He might not bat. Let's see. He came out. Now he's going to talk to his third base coach, Gordy McKenzie. So he's going to stay in.
That conversation continues. Meanwhile, Ken Oberkfell has moved in. He can't be more than 60 feet away from the batter's box.
I'd like to see him throw him a high fastball right around the shoulders, at least to start. They're difficult to bunt. Sometimes you pop them up.
The runner going on the first pitch, and now the bunt might be taken off. As Uribe swipes second, his 14th stolen base of the season, and now Williams heading back toward the Giants dugout.
How about that? They knew all along they were going to send Uribe. He's in there with a go-ahead run. Williams does his job, taking the pitch down low. In other words, the third base coach says, just don't swing. We're sending him. Now we've got a pinch hitter.
Randy Kutcher is going to pinch hit now for Frank Williams. Kutcher is going to inherit a 1-0 count. Kutcher, the kind of player you like to see make it to the major leagues. He has been in the Giant minor league organization since 1979. Talk about paying your dues. Been at Phoenix for 4 years. Kutcher on the year, batting .259, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. He's from Anchorage, Alaska. He played Little League ball in Alaska. Then his family moved to California, where the season for baseball was a little longer.
Even though Williams took the pitch for a ball, this at bat goes to Kutcher. He's charged with it.
Here's the 1-1. Almost hit him. 2-1.
This looked like a curveball that backed up, and it was. This got away from him.
So Dedman behind in the count now, 2-1 with a rebate down at second, nobody out. 4-4 game in the seventh.
Now Berenguer starts throwing. He's been a real big help to Roger Craig. Berenguer hasn't been with him all year. He's had a good season.
He has become the closer for the Giants the last couple of weeks. He was working long and middle relief earlier in the season. Kutcher was squaring, and the count now 3-1. The on-deck hitter, Joel Youngblood. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Takes a strike, and the count full now, 3-2. He again checks out the signs from Gordy McKenzie. And the 3-2 on the way. Struck him out. Dedman came back with a high fastball. And Kutcher down on strikes for out number 1.
What a big out. A high fastball might have been out of the strike zone. A little high. He had to chase it. It was too close to take.
That'll bring up Joel Youngblood, who was singled, walked, and flied to center. Dedman bluffing back towards second. The runs are even at 4. The hits are even at 6. We're in the top half of the 7th inning. Uribe at second with 1 out. Dedman deals. A strike in the inside corner, 0-1. San Diego's taking a 1-0 lead over Houston now. They go to the 4th inning at the Astrodome. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Popped it foul on a play right side. And Dedman quickly out in front, 0-2. Dedman has pitched much better over the last month or so, and the reason has been his control. He gets ahead of the hitters. It's a whole different story. Oh, 0-2 on Joel Youngblood. And the 2-strike pitch, just a little bit high. So now it's 1-2 on the Giants right fielder, Robbie Thompson, waiting on deck. Chuck Tanner has no bullpen activity going now, so Jeff Dedman will have to get out of this jam himself. The 1-2 pitch, little looper towards center field. It's going to fall for a base hit, and the Giants are going to grab the lead. Uribe comes home, and that's 2 runs in a row the Giants have scored on little flares to center field. One by Harry Spillman in the 6th inning, and now Joel Youngblood has done it, driving in his 11th run of the season here in the 7th.
Hit it right off his fist. Little pop fly single, but good for a run. Here's Thompson.
So the Giants have a 5-4 lead. That's the 7th hit of the game for San Francisco. And Robbie Thompson, the hitter, he's grounded out to short twice. And he has flied to right. Pitch out, nothing was on. 1 ball, no strikes. I'll tell you this, doesn't matter what uniform Joel Youngblood has worn, whether it's been Mets or Cardinals or Reds or Giants. He comes up with big hits against Atlanta time and time again.
And the uniform's always dirty.
That's
well, he
right.
plays all out.
1 ball, no strikes the count. Dedmon deals, fouled back. 1-1 on Robbie Thompson. The Giants have a chance to go back into first place in the division tonight. If they win this game and Houston loses, San Francisco moves back on top in the division. Here's the 1-1. Missing inside, 2-1. One out in the inning. 1 run in. Youngblood back easily. Youngblood hasn't played that much this year. He has only 1 stolen base.
Berenguer loosening up. I believe he has been with them all year. He's in their press guy. Hasn't pitched in that many ball games, but of late he has been doing a super job, as you mentioned, as a closing pitcher.
And again, Youngblood back safely. He throws hard.
He is. He was with Detroit last year, 5-6. ERA high at 5.59. The Tigers let him go in a trade.
Two and 1, the count on Robbie Thompson with 1 out. Line into center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And the Giants threatening to score some more here. Runners at first and second, still only 1 out. And now we get to the heart of the Giants batting order. Jeffrey Leonard and Chili Davis will be followed by Chris Brown.
Oh, we hear some rumbling in the background, and it's not thunder, it's the fans, as they want someone to warm up in the bullpen. No one's warming, and Chuck Tanner is on his way to the mound. But now it appears that we will get some action, as Joe Johnson, who has been a starter all year, now working out of the bullpen, will get up and start throwing. But Tanner is now out there killing a little time. Gives us a chance to pass on our best wishes to Hazel Bufink in Alliance, Nebraska, who never misses a game, and Bob Lyerly, who's been hospitalized in Carolina Beach, North Carolina. We hope that he is, along with other people who are hurting and are closed in, can't get out, either because of illness or for some other reason, but enjoy these games. And we thank them for their letters. We hope that they enjoy another one here tonight.
Leonard tonight's been held hitless. He's bounced to the pitcher, fly to right and fly to center. And he always scares you when he comes to the plate. First and second with 1 down. Giants with a 1-run lead. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. Jeffrey Leonard became a totally different kind of hitter when Frank Robinson was the manager of the Giants. Robinson changed his swing around a little bit, and all of a sudden, instead of being a line drive singles type hitter, Leonard became a hitter who could hit for a high average and with power. The runners are going. The 0-1 pitch is hit high in the air, shallow left center field. Rafael Ramirez drifting out there. He's got it. The infield fly rule was in effect, and that's out number 2 in the inning. Runners had to hustle back. That ball was not hit that high, and especially the runner at second, Joel Youngblood. He was almost all the way to third. Had to put the brakes on and race back to second. So the runners remain at first and second with 2 down. And Chili Davis, who has homered and walked twice and scored 3 runs, steps in.
Yankees are winning 4-1 after 6 over the Tigers. In Baltimore, beating Milwaukee 5-3 after 5. Mets are winning again, 2-0 after 3 at St. Louis. Mets just keeping on winning. They're shooting for their 51st win.
Dedmon deals a little bit low, ball 1. You can almost bet the mortgage that Chili Davis will be in the All-Star game in Houston in a couple of weeks.
I just wish there had been more people able to vote. It's going to be a real low as far as ballots cast.
There's a strike, and Steve Ripley.
I don't know if anybody's got 1 million votes yet, and the voting closes this weekend. Used to be some years where there'd be one player might get 2 or 3 million.
The voting restricted this year to ballparks, major and minor league ballparks, the only place where ballots can be obtained. And I agree, Ernie, that shuts out a large percentage of the baseball audience, the people that can't get to ballparks or don't live in towns near professional baseball.
Right. It's minor league or major league, but some areas of the country have no professional baseball.
And even those areas that do have a lot of fans who, for one reason or another, can't get to ball games, and they'd like to vote. So it seems like a certain percentage of the baseball audience being unfairly cut out of the voting this year. 1 and 2 the count on Chili Davis.
Maybe next year they'll change it.
He got him with a fastball. Dedmon records his second strikeout, but in between the strikeouts, the Giants take the lead. 1 run on 3 hits, and they leave a couple. We go to the bottom half of the 7th. It's now San Francisco 5, Atlanta 4. Some changes for San Francisco as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Chili Davis moves over to right field. Randy Kutcher, who pinch hit for the pitcher, stays in the game in center. He'll stay in the number 9 spot in the batting order. And the new pitcher who'll bat in Joel Youngblood's spot is right-hander Juan Berenger. A win, 3 saves, no losses, a 1.93 earned run average. Appearing in his 21st game, his 18th in relief. Williams worked a couple of innings, allowed no runs, 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 1. And is the pitcher of record. He could pick up the win if Berenger can hold it for him. Bottom of the 7th, 5-4 Giants our score. And once again, here's Ernie.
Thank you, Peter. Berenger, big burly right-hander against Sample, who's 2 for 3. And the pitch. Fastball hit foul past Nixon. Well, that concerns you when you're a pitcher. You wind up and throw your best fastball, and a hitter pulls it foul by 50 feet. Berenger is 31.
Sample did the same thing to Vida Blue earlier in the game.
Griffey's on deck. He's happy to see a right-hander, although he's hit the ball hard against lefties. The curve is in there. 0-2. I don't think Berenger will walk many. Well, you can if you're a successful relief pitcher. And he's been that for Roger Craig. And the 0-2. A little bit outside. He's from Panama. Born there. 5'11", 215. They got him in a trade with Detroit last season. And the 1-2. Got him. Strikeout. Sample's out of there.
There's nothing fancy about this guy. He's got 45 strikeouts, 46 now, and 42 in the 3rd innings. He goes right after you. And when he first signed, he had all kinds of control problems. Somewhere along the way, somebody taught him how to pitch with control. It might have been Roger Craig when he was the pitching coach at Detroit. That might have been why they traded for him.
A lot of pitchers moaned when Craig retired from Detroit, then got back into baseball with the Giants. High and away, 1-0. Ken Griffey, the batter. 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for 4 last night. Murphy's on deck. And the 1-0. Boy, fastball. Griffey trying to make it 5-5, missed it. Griffey doesn't strike out that much. Could only fan 24 times this year with New York. When you keep the ball in play or get it in play, you got a chance to pick up a hit. 2-1. All hits aren't line drives, singles. Sometimes they're slow rollers. Brown at third is just a few feet off the line. He doesn't want any doubles hit down that way. And the same story for Spillman at first. Inside, 3-1. The Braves going to run around the tiebreakers at the plate. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Braves going for their 6th straight win and their 40th overall. They've won 7 of their last 10. And the 3-1 pitch to Griffey. Strike call, 3-2. And the payoff. Foul away. Griffey, a one-time member of the Big Red Machine that used to rumble down here from Cincinnati. Bench and Griffey and Dreesen and
He made
Perez.
a very interesting comment before the game about that Big Red Machine team, who he felt the most important member of it was. Kind of surprising.
First we'll get the pitch. High, now we'll get the surprise.
You know, that team had Pete Rose and Johnny Bench and Joe Morgan, and Ken Griffey said the key to the Big Red Machine was Tony Perez.
Yeah.
In the clubhouse, the atmosphere he created and driving in those 90 runs every year for 8 or 9 straight years.
I think that's one of the reasons the Reds and Pete Rose re-signed Perez as an elder statesman. Murphy the batter. 1-4-2. Horner on deck. Murphy with his 250th home run here last night. Griffey, who at age 36 still runs well, is off first base. High drive, left center field. Let's watch it. It's back toward that wall. This ball is out of here. Dale Murphy. They're standing at Atlanta as Murphy hits number 14 and 251 career-wise. It was a Ruthian shot, a mile high and over the fence and left.
This ball goes almost as high as it goes far. Jeffrey Leonard kept backing up. Watch him give up on it. No chance.
They want a curtain call. Attaboy, Dale. It has become very common for all players to acknowledge the applause. And I approve of it. I think it's great. Horner with a 1-0. A little bit high, 2-0.
That's only the second home run hit off Juan Berenger this year in 43 innings.
A walk to Griffey, a 2-run shot at 6-5 Atlanta. And a 2-0. Hit foul, straight back. 2-1. Virgil on deck. These runs belong to Dedman. He had given up a run, and his teammates, as you look at Virgil, his teammates came bouncing back. Here's a 2-1. Well hit toward left, but it's going to be caught. Leonard just short of the warning track. A line drive off the bat of Horner.
I think Bob Horner broke his bat on that one. Pretty good when you can hit a ball 350 feet and break your bat.
A few years ago, he cracked the bat and got it over the fence right down the line for a homer. Here's Ozzie Virgil. Pitch hits Virgil, I believe. Or did it? Maybe not. It chased him. We understand it's the first time Dale Murphy has homered back-to-back in consecutive games this year.
That's supposed to be a curveball. It backed up on Berenger and tipped off the glove of Bob Melvin.
The 1-0. Curveball in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Murphy now 2 for 3 tonight. Had a good game last evening. Virgil is 0 for 3 tonight. Breaking ball going away. 1-2. Giants got 2 in the first. Atlanta 1 in the second, 3 in the third. Giants back with 1 in the fourth. Single runs in the 6th and 7th to take the lead before Murphy's homer. Here's a 1-2. Fastball, strikeout. That'll do it for Atlanta, but they pick up 2 big ones. We go to the 8th. 6-5 Braves.
Got the red band scoreboard. The Expos and Cubs had their game suspended after 7 with no score. They'll resume it tomorrow. Darkness at Wrigley Field. The Dodgers a 2-1 lead over Cincinnati. They go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Rookie Jeff Hamilton, his first major league homer for Los Angeles. Phillies lead the Pirates 2-1. Rick Shue a home run. That game now in the 7th inning. It's 2-0 New York over St. Louis. They're now in the 5th. Fernandez against Cox. And San Diego now leads Houston 2-0. They go to the 5th inning. Shaw against Knudsen. In the American League, Cleveland a 9-0 winner over Oakland. The Indians hit 5 homers. John Butcher pitched the shutout. Baltimore leading Milwaukee after 6. Fred Lynn has a home run there. But Tom Seaver pitching his first game for the Red Sox. Boston on top by 5. They go now to the 7th inning. Detroit has picked up another run. And in the bottom half of the 7th, it's now 4-2 Yankees leading. Darrell Evans and Johnny Grubb have homered for Detroit. 2-0 Texas behind Charlie Huff in the 6th. Chicago at California, Kansas City at Seattle later. And that's your red band scoreboard.
Here we go to the 8th. Brown leads it off. Want to remind everyone, especially the youngsters, that on Sunday it is Banner Day here. And you can still submit a banner. Just call 522-7630. That's 522-7630. That's the office number of the Braves if you want to participate in Banner Day on Sunday. Bouncer short. In a hurry, Ramirez gets him. 1 down. One other note on Banner Day. No plaques given away or anything like that. Good old cash money. First prize is $1,000. And there'll be other prizes.
It'll be 7 altogether. $1,000 first prize, 2 $500 runner-up prizes, and 4 $250 honorable mention prizes. So a lot of cash will be given out.
That is on Sunday. And Saturday is Cap Day, and of course a big fireworks display on Friday night. That's in conjunction with C&S Bank. Here's Spillman in the pitch. Did he go? Yes, he did. They're saying he swung. Harry says, I didn't. And he chomps on that tobacco. Here's Andres Thomas. He's feeling fine, along with Omar Moreno. Thomas probably sit out well, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. He was feeling fine today. There's a liner along that line. Griffey can't get it. Knocks it down. It'll be a double. That's Spillman. Has done everything right. That's his 3rd hit and his 4th in 2 days. He pinched a double last night. And the tying runs out at 2nd.
Spillman has tried for years to win himself a spot as an everyday player. Might get a little more playing time with Will Clark out of there if he keeps hitting like this. His 3rd hit of this game, hit number 9 of the night for San Francisco. Now Chuck Tanner has called time.
It's going to be scored a single and an error. I thought it might be a double all the way. It was not an easy play. Tanner on his way out. Garber is loosening up. And we may get a change right here. Tanner will make the change. Garber will make his way in. Tonight's attendance, 17,376. Among those attending from Delta executives. Down in Box F having a great time, and they've invited out retired Delta executives. They keep track of one another. Delta, of course, carts us around in a comfortable manner all summer long. They've been big sponsors for years. While Gene Garber makes his way to the mound and takes his warm-up tosses, we'll break away for this message.
This relief break brought to you by Pepto-Bismol. Because the...
And you see that more and more this year, Pete. with pinch runners being employed using a pitcher because of the 24-man roster.
When they had 25-man rosters, you didn't very often see a pitcher. Managers don't really like to use pitchers as pinch runners because if you get a bang-bang play at the plate, let's say, in a run-scoring situation, a pitcher could slide and injure himself. In fact, it happened a few years ago to Steve Rogers of the Montreal Expos. He missed about a month. But with only 24 men, you're right, they do use almost exclusively, it seems lately, pitchers in pinch running situations.
The Braves use Craig McMurtry quite often. The batter is Bob Melvin, a big kid, 6'4" and over 200 pounds. He's 0 for 3 today. 1 out and a runner at second. Time has been called for a moment. The umpire, Ripley, told Garber to kick the rosin bag back out of sight. Boy, that's how particular they are about anything white out on that mound, other than your uni. Curve strike, 0-1. They're whipping up a bit of a wave here. That's Robinson in their bullpen. He's been throwing the split finger fastball as well as anybody, according to Roger Craig. Here's the 0-1. Take the second. Another easy game for the Braves, an old rocking chair job. 6-5. Boy, they don't have many easy ones. They've been out hit 9-7. Garber delivers, and it's fouled away. Gene Garber was voted the Rolaids relief pitcher of the month for June in the National League with a record of 2-0 and 6 saves. No balls and 2 strikes. Rick Mailer is in the running for pitcher of the month. He won 6 and lost none in June. The 0-2 pitch. Down low. Melvin, a youngster, may be looking at Garber's changeup for the first time. A runner at second, 1 out. Top of the 8th, 6-5 Atlanta. Looks like Seaver's going to win his initial starting assignment with the Red Sox. It's 9-4 now in the 7th. He's still in there, number 41. Boy, those Red Sox will get you some runs. Now the 1-2. Hit toward first. Knocked down. Hubbard's got it. Throw to first. Not in time. Hubbard almost made a spectacular play as the ball bounced away from Horner. Hubbard almost got him. Garber was over there, but not quite.
This would have been some play had they gotten him out. Hubbard had come in on the ball, had to go back, knock it down, got up quickly, recovered, threw. Garber alertly over there. Very close play at first. Almost a somersault turn by Hubbard going back for that ball. It'll be a base hit. And the Giants now have runners first and third with only 1 man out.
Uribe the batter. And now Garber wants to talk it over with Virgil. That is a tying run at third. Only 1 out.
Got to be careful for the squeeze play here. That's been a pet play of Roger Craig this year.
12 times it's been successful. And they're talking about it right now. With a right-handed batter up, you can defense against the squeeze by throwing it right under his chin. But with a lefty, you got to throw up the line. And they work the squeeze successfully by not giving it away. I don't know if they'll try it with a pitcher at third or not. But he can't break too soon. That's the key. They want you to think it isn't on until the last second. Inside, 1-0. First and third. Garrelts is at third. Melvin with the infield hitters at first. There's not too much speed out there. The Braves got Ramirez and Hubbard back looking for the double play. Now the 1-0 won't be made. Oberkfell at third, could go anywhere with a grounder. So could Horner. McKenzie is looking to Roger Craig for a sign. And so is Uribe looking for that sign. That's a good average with runners in scoring position. Now the 1-0. Swinging and missing. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was a changeup. Two on and 1 out. Kotcher is the on-deck hitter. Now the 1-1 won't be made. Remember, Behringer is hitting in the leadoff spot. But Robinson's ready if they need him. He's been throwing for a couple of innings. One and one. And a pitch. Not yet. Oh, there's a lot of wheels turning over there in that third base coaching box and the third base dugout. One ball, 1 strike. Garber steps off. Getting a little nervous, isn't it? Tying run third. Go ahead run at first. And a 1-1. Foul away. He was reaching 1 and 2. You would think he wouldn't squeeze with 2 strikes, but this has been a weird game. We've seen some funny things happen. There's Roger Craig from Durham, North Carolina. Probably got about 40 passes here tonight. He's got a lot of kin up there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garber pitches. Hit towards center. Murphy's going to catch it, and he might throw him out if he tries. He's not trying. Murphy on a good throw. Holds the runner at third. I don't know if he sends another runner or not. It wasn't that deep.
Wasn't hit very deep. Murphy running in, made a 2-hop strike throw to the plate. 1, 2, and there it is. Now it'll take a 2-out hit if the Giants are to tie it here.
Kutcher struck out the first time up as a pinch hitter. I don't think anybody tries to tag on that last line drive on Murphy's arm. Toward Oberkfell. They're going to be out of it. Third to first. They strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-5 Atlanta.
In part by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Bob Brenly is the new first baseman as they lifted Harry Spillman for a pinch runner. Ramirez the batter. He'll be followed by Oberkfell and Hubbard. Boy, after school lets out in Atlanta, boy, you can, during the week, over the weekends, everybody comes out. Mom, Dad, and all the kids. All ages. Because sometime in their life, everybody played baseball, I think. There's a swing and a miss, 0-1. In fact, some of the best ball players in our neighborhoods were girls growing up. The 0-1. And football players. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ramirez has walked twice and single. Foul away. Behringer in his second inning. Williams had 2 shutout innings, allowing only a hit. So he pitched well. Now the 1-2. Boy, he can throw hard. 2-2.
Hey, he's not exactly what you call a finesse pitcher, is he?
He's not a cunny thumber, as they say. That ball's got a little hair on it when it comes up there. Zip. 2-2. That's a strikeout. That's 2 in a row and 3 for Behringer since he came on in the 7th. But Murphy tagged him for a 2-run homer after he walked Griffith. Here's Obie. Knocked in 2 runs in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. Strike call.
Give you a number on Ken Oberkfell. He has 29 RBIs this year, and 15 of them have been with 2-out hits. That's more than half his RBIs with big 2-out hits.
Fly ball left. Jeff Leonard. 2 down. Hubbard the batter. Garber in search of his 9th save. We'll have the top of the order in the 9th inning. They've got a speed gun on Behringer, and he's been clocked at 91 miles an hour.
Give him a ticket.
The 1-0. 1 ball and a strike. I guess they're accurate, but one time a radar gun had some trees going 85 in Florida. Here's a 1-1. Well hit along the line. Let's watch that ball. Leonard is in the corner, and he's going to catch it right in front of the fence. Hubbard was flirting with that foul pole. Out number 3. We go to the 9th. Braves are up by 1.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. Bud Light. Hey, thanks.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
I can have a light? Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
You stepped up to a 35mm camera because you wanted to get serious about your photography. There, the image is on the film, but will it be on the print? It will if it's Eckerd's UltraLab 35 processing. UltraLab 35 examines each negative for color and contrast. Prints on high-gloss Kodak paper for incredible reproduction, and UltraLab prints are 30% larger. Be sure that the image you shoot is the image you get. UltraLab 35 from Eckerd, when you're serious about 35mm.
Right now, your body's thirsty for more than water.
What you want to know about it, you never have before. Fresh, it's Gatorade, it's thirsty. So go and give your thirsty body what it's feeling thirsty for. Fresh, it's Gatorade, it's thirsty. For that deep down body thirst.
Gatorade Thirst Quencher quenches the thirst in your throat while it helps put back the potassium, fluids, and minerals your whole body's thirsty for.
Fresh, it's Gatorade, it's thirsty. For that deep down body thirst.
Wednesday, Superstar Summer continues with Glenn Ford. He's a bounty hunter with a reputation and a grudge. Santee, 8:20 Eastern on the Superstation Wednesday.
We're going to the ninth. Candy Maldonado will come on as a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Berenguer. Maldonado's been a good pinch hitter. Listen to these numbers. He's been up 24 times as a pinch hitter. He's 10 for 24 with 3 homers and 12 RBIs. Overall, he's batting .250, 5 homers and 25 RBIs. They got him for the Dodgers in an off-season trade. San Francisco sent Alex Trevino to Los Angeles. Thompson's on deck, then Leonard. Garber trying to save this ball game for Dedman. And here's the first pitch. Curve outside. Did he swing? No. Fred Brocklander, the man of many calls. He calls strikes a lot of different ways. I like that.
He'll be behind the plate tomorrow night.
Now the 1-0. Hit high into the air in left center field. The ball game is going to be tied, I believe, and it is Maldonado. We talked about his pinch hitting. He's made it 6-6. Garber touched for a home run by Candy Maldonado.
That's his 6th home run this year and his 4th pinch hit homer. He is having an amazing season coming off the bench. No question about it. They got the pitch up a little bit. Maldonado jumped all over it.
Now Thompson. Nobody out. Tie game. Strike call. And the 0-1 curve. He might have gone. Yes, he did. 0-2. There's Robinson up and throwing again. And the 0-2. Fouled away. Boy, that one. That's Steve Ripley.
Candy Maldonado has a shot at a major league record, the most pinch hit home runs in one season ever. 6 by a guy named John Frederick with Brooklyn back in 1932. He's got 4 already, and we're not at the halfway point yet.
Used to try to keep the ball away from John Frederick. 0-2. Well, just like that, it's turned around. 11 hits for the Giants, 7 for the Braves, and a 6-6 game. The launching pad has given up 3 homers tonight. Davis and Maldonado for San Francisco and Murphy for Atlanta. The curve outside. Dedman can't be involved in the decision.
That was only the 2nd home run hit off Garber all year.
And the 1-2. Led up outside. 2-2. Chuck Tanner and Johnny Sane. John Sterling is just ready to do his Star of the Game show. Swing and a miss. Out on strikes is Thompson.
It's a typical sight when you get Gene Garber throwing that changeup against a young hitter who hasn't seen him much. Garber gets a lot of strikeouts against youngsters.
Jeffrey Leonard. He prefers Jeffrey. Another long ball hitter. Davis is next. Leonard's had a wrist problem. He's missed a few games due to a sore wrist. That's right at Hubbard, who staggers a bit and throws him out for out number 2. That brings on Davis. who's homered, walked twice, and struck out. When you hear us talk about walks, how they hurt you, Davis has walked twice, and he's scored both times. He walked in the 4th, later scored. He walked in the 6th after 1 out, and he later scored. Pete and I had our big IBM computer game today and played 4 games, and the 57 Braves won 2, and the 82 Braves won 2. Somewhere along the line, we're going to have to play that rubber game. Got a shot at managing and really played a hunch. And it didn't work out. Lou Burdett is supposed to get out Bob Horner.
Well, I hope he's not watching tonight.
I hope he is. Walk Chambliss to get to Horner, tying run second. Right-hander who can throw sliders and sinkers and maybe wet one up. He should get a right-hander out, and Burdett allowed a home run to Bob Horner. Well, we had a lot of fun. Garber wanting to pitch, and Davis stepping out on him. Now the pitch. A little bit low.
Well, we got a fight breaking out over the Giants bullpen right in the front row.
Somebody almost landed in the Giants bullpen.
Yes, they did.
One and all. Garber's pitch. Inside, 2-0. Davis had a 2-run homer in the 1st inning. It was his 8th. Bounce toward Hubbard, who's got it, throws him out. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th with a score. Braves 6, Giants 6.
Give me a light. Bud Light. Oh, the chili.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light.
Bud Light. So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light. No, Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Delta flies to the heart of Europe. London.
Why, hello, Delta.
Paris.
Bonjour, Delta.
Frankfurt, Munich, and Stuttgart.
Guten Tag, Delta.
And Shannon, Ireland.
100,000 welcomes, Delta.
6 gateways to all of the heritage, tradition, and pride of Europe. All as close as a Delta jet. Europe. Delta gets you there.
There's a tree with the wood so wild it burns with flavor. Wild mesquite. Captured by Kingsford. Kingsford with mesquite. Burning with the most tried and true cooking fire in all outdoors. Shot through with the sweet smoking wood of wild mesquite. Kingsford with mesquite. Burning with flavor. Kingsford. Now there are 2 great charcoals.
Kingsford tonight.
Candy Maldonado stays in the ball game. He's the culprit that tied it. Well, what a year he's having as a pinch hitter. He replaces Jeffrey Robinson, and Jeff Leonard, rather, and Robinson is the new pitcher. Robinson will bat in Leonard's spot. Terry Harper on as a pinch hitter. Harper for Garber. Sample on deck. Jeff Robinson is a pitcher. His nickname is Junior. I don't know if he likes that or not. That's what it says in their guide. He's only 25 years old. 6'4", 200.
How about center fielder Randy Kutcher? Does he have a nickname?
Oh, yes, Kutch.
Oh. Well, those ball players are clever, aren't
Yeah, they come up with those handles. Robinson has done a good job with a split finger fastball. Roger Craig feels that he's probably his best student. Craig will say, if you got big hands and long fingers, I can teach it to you. Terry Harper batting 195 in the pitch. A ball low. Terry has 5 homers and 19 RBI. Sample on deck. Fastball high. Split finger fastball is a great pitch because even if it doesn't do anything, you throw it just as hard as your fastball. It goes up there slower, so you've got a built-in changeup. Well, what makes it really effective is that when it sinks. 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0 swung on, hit foul down the right side. Out of reach of Brenly, into the seats. Following tonight's game, stay tuned for the Sports Report with John Fricke. He'll have all the National League scores and highlights from tonight's Giants-Braves game. That's the Sports Report immediately following our telecast. Don't forget, it all starts in Moscow, the Goodwill Games, on Saturday at noon Eastern. We're going to have 100,000 people in the stadium. It's going to be an exciting Olympiad, if you will. Foul away. It's as close to the Olympic Games as you can get. The Goodwill Games. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going to be a lot of fine athletes from the USA competing. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2. I believe that's a split finger. Uribe, after Harper fell down getting out of the gate. And the fans are booing because he did not run that hard. I think some didn't see him trip. Watch him getting out of the box.
Yeah, he fell down coming out of the batter's box, and when he got up, he felt he had no chance. The throw was already on its way. Uribe makes a nice play here. Didn't really have to hurry because Harper's only about halfway down the line. Ted Simmons going to bat now for Billy Semple.
Simmons for Semple. He's a switch hitter, and he'll bat lefty. Brenly is going to talk it over with Robinson and Melvin and Thompson and Uribe and Sherry. They have a quorum. And what they're talking about is Simmons is a dead fastball hitter. But the other night, he hit a flare on a curveball for base hit to left. But he's primarily a fastball hitter. 9 for 25 as a pinch hitter. That is 360 with a grand slam and 13 RBI. Griffey's on deck. Give the Giants credit. They tied it in the ninth to send it into the bottom half, 6-6. They have 11 hits. The Braves have 7. Each team has committed 1 error. That's a split finger. The bottom fell out of it. 0-1. The Braves try to extend their winning streak to 6. Another one. 0-2. I mean, this pitch, the split finger, could keep this kid in the major leagues. He didn't have it, and he was sent back to the minors last year. Sometimes it's just one pitch turns around a career. If you don't believe me, ask Bruce Sutter. He said if it wasn't for the split finger, he's still in a minor league somewhere. And the 1-2. Got him. Strikeout. Simmons did not see a fastball.
Game of breaking ball, slider or curve, something like that. After getting 2 strikes on him. 2 men out.
I think it was the old split finger. It went down. Here's Griffey. He fed him 3 of them. Griffey, as you can see, 0 for 3. Strike called. Murphy on deck. Here's the 0-1. That's what he is. All he's throwing, occasional fastball, all he's throwing is a split finger fastball. It goes up at a slower speed and just goes down. But with the same motion as the fastball. He used to throw a lot of kind of sidearm curves and sliders and fastball. The 0-2. That's hit into right field. Base hit. Griffey with a single gets Murphy out. Murphy who homered last time. Singled into first.
Robinson went right after him. He had an 0-2 count and tried to get him on an 0-2 pitch, and Griffey pulled it by second baseman Robbie Thompson.
Last time it went high into the air off the bat of Murphy, a mile high, and got out of here to put the Braves out in front. Giants tied it with a home run by Maldonado. Pitch to Murphy. Just outside. 1-0. Griffey at first. Still runs well. Now the 1-0. Griffey back. Murphy with 35 homers, 35 RBIs rather, 14 homers. 1-0. Strike. One ball, one strike, 2 away. .35 homers is what Murphy usually ends up with. Been right around that last 3 or 4 years. 2-1. I don't know. You think they'd send Griffey or not? 2 balls, 1 strike.
You might see him run. There is no such thing as a book.
No.
In Chuck Tanner's dugout,
Yeah,
except for his own.
2 balls, 1 strike. Not going. Did he hold off? Yes, and Fred Brocklander. 3 balls and a strike. Another bad one. The tying runs at second.
Well, this was close. I don't know if he held up or not. Braves might have gotten a break there.
Yep. Could have been called a swing. 3 balls, 1 strike. Griffey leading from first. Robinson pitches. There it is. Split finger, 3-2. Now Griffey will go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. They've got Mitten throwing down there. He's a righty and a lefty also loosing. Swing a miss, and out of there is Murphy. 2 strikeouts in the inning by Robinson. We go to the 10th inning, 6-6.
Thank you, Ernie. Terry Harper stays in the game in right field. He'll be batting in the number 9 spot, and batting the leadoff spot now, the new Atlanta pitcher, right-hander Joe Johnson. This is the first bullpen assignment for Johnson this year. He had been in the starting rotation, a record of 6-6 with a 4.70 earned run average in 15 games, 2 complete games. And a little bit of shoulder difficulty, which caused him to miss 1 start. And then when Craig McMurtry pitched so well filling in for Johnson, Chuck Tanner decided to flip-flop, put McMurtry in the rotation and put Joe out in the bullpen to try to get some work out there, build up the strength again. He'll be facing Chris Brown, Bob Brindley, and Bob Melvin here in the 10th inning. Extra inning games have been a strong point of the Braves this year. This is the 10th extra inning game played by Atlanta. Braves are 8-1. It's also been a strong point for the Giants. They've played 11 extra inning games, and they're 7-4. Chris Brown 1 for 4. He had a single back in the first. He has grounded out 3 times since then. High and deep to right center field. Murphy heading back, still going back. He'll not get it. Hits off the wall. Heading for second, Brown. He'll take the turn and hold on there. That ball almost... Oh, they got him at second. No, they almost got him at second base. Brown a little bit lazy getting back to the bag after taking a wide turn around second. And they almost got him coming back.
Let's see how close this came to going out. Might have hit right on top. It did. Right on top of the fence and bounced back. Harper got it in. He almost got Brown rounding second.
That's his 10th double of the year. We saw a home run earlier in the game hit by Chili Davis that bounced off the top of the fence and over. Oh, that was close at second. That's 12 hits in the game now. And here's Bob Brindley batting for the first time, hitting .245, 4 homers, 21 RBIs. Nobody out here in the 10th.
They may try to bunt him over.
Gilbert fell right on the edge of the grass at third. Horner about even with the bag at first. Brindley not squaring, takes inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Little tap toward short. Rafael Ramirez has only 1 play on to first in time. Chris Brown moves over to third. So now the Giants have the go-ahead run just 90 feet away with 1 out. And the catcher Bob Melvin steps in.
Now Tanner's going out and talk about the squeeze play. They've got speed at third. They didn't have that before with Garrelts at third base as a pinch runner.
And as we pointed out earlier, the squeeze has been a favorite play of Roger Craig this year. 12 successful squeeze plays. That's more than most teams get in an entire season. We're only at the 1st of July.
It's hard to do sometimes, but if you see it coming near the pitcher and the batter starts to square away, you just got to throw it right under his chin. I mean, there's no 2 ways about it. With a right-handed batter, don't try to get cute. Just try to knock him down. That's what Tanner is saying right now. But sometimes it's a little more difficult than you think because you can't always throw the ball right where you want it. But that will floor him. And if it's a suicide, you've got the guy trapped coming in from third. That's with a right-handed batter.
Steve Ripley, the plate umpire, breaks up the meeting on the mound. Chuck Tanner pointing to the spot where he wants Bob Horner to play. And look at this. Look at this defensive alignment. Glenn Hubbard, the second baseman, is over on the left side of the infield. Ken Oberkfell is right on the bag at third. Rafael Ramirez is in at short. And Bob Horner is in on the grass at first. They've literally taken the squeeze away from Bob Melvin in this spot. But boy, I would not want to be Glenn Hubbard.
They're taking the squeeze away, but they're allowing a ground ball of any kind to go through and knock the run in. So Tanner really gambling here.
Well, I'll tell you what, look how close Hubbard is. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Pitch out, nothing was on. 2-0. And you've got a right hand. Now they're going to move Hubbard back. And now Roger Craig might put the squeeze on, or they might walk him here, too.
Let's see.
One man out in the inning. 2-0 the count in Melvin. Now the infield is a normal infield, pulled in all the way around. And they pitched out again. This might be 4 straight pitch outs. 3-0 the count.
If they walk in, they're going to have the same situation with the Uribe. First and third, and 1 out.
Here's the 3-0. That was not an intentional walk, but it was the closest thing to it. Melvin down to first, and now the runners are at first and third. With 1 man out, Uribe, who handles the bat well, will be at the plate. He has a single and 4 at-bats. Chuck Tanner motioning to the infield how he wants him to play. Glenn Hubbard's going to play in. He started back to double play depth. Now he's been moved back in. So is everybody else in. Be alert for the squeeze from this guy.
See, this is a little tougher to defense because, well, you can pitch out, throw up the third baseline. That's one way. But you don't want to try to knock this guy down because the ball will be away from him.
A strike with a fastball, nothing in 1. 1 out in the inning. 6-6 game, top of the 10th.
And it's easier to just throw up the baseline rather than try to floor a left-handed batter. We'll see. Craig has been so successful at it. He hasn't tried it yet tonight.
First and third with 1 man out. Joe Johnson in his first relief assignment of the year deals the 0-1 pitch. That was a pitch out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Roger Craig continues to give signs to Gordy McKenzie, who relays them to everybody on the field.
Look at that. Pulling his ear, pulling his nose.
One ball, 1 strike on Uribe. Here's the 1-1. He's swinging and fouls it away. A ball and 2 strikes now on the Giant shortstop. Crowd of a little over 17,000 on hand tonight.
You see all these little signs. Sometimes it's a very simple sign. It's skin on skin, as they say, and something's on. In other words, if he touches his hand, then he touches his nose, that's skin on skin. That's a sign. But if he never has that combination, there's no sign on.
A ball and 2 strikes on Uribe. The on-deck hitter is Randy Kutcher. Pitch out again. Braves have pitched out on the last 2 hitters now 4 times. And the count 2-2 on Uribe. The runners are at first and third. Melvin at first, Brown at third with 1 out. And time is called. Joe Johnson gets his sign from Ozzie Virgil. And the 2-2 on the way. The breaking ball is in there. Strike 3 called. Johnson gets a big strikeout. 2 outs in the inning.
It's a curveball, I believe. We've talked about it. The batter gives up on it. He thinks that's going to be outside, and it comes right around and clips the corner. A big strikeout. First and third, now 2 outs.
Now Randy Kutcher, who's been up twice since coming in as a pinch hitter. He has struck out and grounded to third. Infield is in at first and third, back at normal depth at second and short. And the fastball misses high, ball 1.
I'd venture to say that Tanner has told Ramirez and Hubbard to stay put. And he's told Virgil, I don't care if he runs, don't throw through.
2 men out with runners at the corners. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's high again, 2-0. The on-deck hitter, Candy Maldonado, whose home run in the 9th inning sent this game to extra innings. Melvin at first, Brown at third. There's Maldonado waiting on deck. A count of 2-0 on Randy Kutcher. And a very interesting ball game. A lot of different things happening. Here's the 2-0 pitch. 3-0. So now Joe Johnson in a real jam. 3-0, 2 men out. First and third are where the runners are. And the 3-0 pitch on the way. Upstairs, ball 4, and the bases will be loaded now for Candy Maldonado. That's the second walk issued by Joe Johnson. And that's walk number 5 off Atlanta pitching.
No one warming up. This is Joe Johnson's game.
Maldonado in the 9th inning hit his 4th pinch hit home run of the season, just 2 off the major league record. It tied this ball game up. And now he bats with the bases loaded, 2 men out in the 10th. Inside. Johnson's now missed with 5 in a row. Control problem, something you're not used to seeing from Joe Johnson. One of his strengths is his good control, but he's missed with 5 straight here. Kutcher at first, Melvin at second, Brown at third, 2 men out. Here's the 1-0 pitch, ground ball right side, that's through into right field, base hit. Chris Brown scores. Now the ball gets by Terry Harper. 3 runs are going to score. The ball gets by Harper again. He tried to pick it up and dropped it. You might see 2 errors charged to Terry Harper. 3 runs have scored, and Candy Maldonado has been the villain. He'll get 2 RBIs. The 3rd run, Kutcher, who was the runner at first, came around after Harper dropped the ball for a 2nd time in right field. And the Giants lead it 9-6.
Maldonado strikes again on a fastball inside, and he steered it to right. Watch Harper. There's 1 error. Now watch this. Falls down and kicks it. They might give him 2 errors.
The Giants with a 3-run lead. Robbie Thompson, the batter, with Maldonado, the runner, at third. They're discharging 1 error to Terry Harper. And the count is even now, 1-1, and Robbie Thompson give Maldonado 2 RBIs, so he has 3 on the night. He's tied the game, and he's given the Giants the lead. He now has 28 RBIs on the year. And it's a 9-6 San Francisco lead. Here's the 1-1 downstairs, 2-1.
You know, Pete, Maldonado going into third base thought that was the most he could get. And he went into a slide, and the third base coach was waving him. He probably could have scored.
Probably could have, because the ball really got away. First of all, Harper overran the ball. And then when he fell and kicked it further behind him, that ball was not picked up yet when Maldonado was sliding into third. And down to first for the walk goes Robbie Thompson. So the roof beginning to fall in here on Joe Johnson in the top half of the 10th inning. That's his 3rd walk. Now the pitcher, Jeff Robinson, will bat for himself. It's his game to win. Robinson is a hitter this year, 1 for 7. Giants lead it, and Braves will be sending up Horner, Virgil, and Ramirez in the bottom half of this inning. That's a check swing foul, 0-1. It's been a seesaw battle all night long, but here in the 10th inning, The Giants have broken it open. It's the biggest lead anybody's had all night, 3 runs. Here's the 0-1. The runner at first is going. The throw down to second was supposed to be caught by Johnson and fired home. He missed the ball. The throw home. Got him. Good recovery by Rafael Ramirez. And a bizarre end to a bizarre inning. The Giants wind up scoring 3. And we go to the bottom half of inning 10 with our score, San Francisco 9, Atlanta 6. Inning, there's your score, 9-6 San Francisco. And what has been a very interesting game for fans to watch. A lot of unusual things happening here tonight. And if you're a Braves fan, the unusual things haven't all been on the good side. Well, we'll see if the Braves can get anything going here in the bottom of the 10th. Horner, Virgil Ramirez due up against Jeff Robinson, who can win the ball game. The Giants now with a 3-run lead, watching that scoreboard. Houston trailing San Diego 3-2. They're in the 6th inning of that game. If Houston loses and the Giants hold on and win here, San Francisco's back on top in the West. Horner leads off the bottom of the 10th. He's 1 for 4. He had a run-scoring single in the 3rd. The overshift on in the Giants infield. Some teams have played Horner that way. Some teams haven't. In this situation, Horner will try to go through that big hole on the right side. See? But he popped it up in a shallow right field. Let's see if anybody's going to get to it. Yep, Chili Davis does. 1 down. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 10th. And here's Ozzie Virgil. He's due. He's 0 for 4. He's popped to third, flied to left, bounced to the pitcher, and struck out. If you keep score along with us in the top half of the inning, 2 of the runs scored by the Giants are earned. 1 was unearned. 1 ball, no strikes. So the Braves' 5-game winning streak very close to ending here in the bottom half of the 10th. Atlanta down by 3. And the count even on Virgil, 1-1. Well, what have we had in tonight's game? We've had a runner steal home with 2 strikes and the pitcher batting. We've had a second baseman move over to the left side of the infield and play on the grass about 50 feet away from a hitter. We've had a pinch hitter hit his 4th pinch hit home run of the season to tie the game. Count goes to 2-1. We've had a right fielder who could have been charged with 2 errors. And the man that hit the ball not realizing where the ball was, missing his coach's sign, sliding into third. Count now 3-1 on Virgil.
And we could have won 6 in a row when you lead going to the 9th. Couldn't hold it.
And that play at the end of the top half of this inning, where the pitcher is supposed to cut off the throw and fire home. He missed it, and the ball is recovered. Deep center field. Kutcher going back on the warning track. He will make the catch right up against the wall. Randy Kutcher causing Ozzie Virgil to take a long look. He almost had it out of here. 2 outs.
This kid can cover center field. He looked good last night, and he reaching for the wall. Just went up and got it. Nice catch by Kutcher in center.
So now it's all up to Rafael Ramirez, who was walked twice, singled, and struck out. Two outs in the inning. And Ramirez takes a strike, 0-1. San Diego has now opened up a 7-2 lead over Houston. They go to the 8th inning at the Astrodome. Down the left field line, but hooking foul. And the count 0-2. So it looks like the Giants are going to be back on top in the West, with Houston a half game out, and the Braves would be 2.5 games out.
Take it, take it. Last year, 10.5 out. Been a lot more delightful for all the fans here, and the attendance went past last year's attendance at the same time with the 17,000 tonight.
The 0-2 pitch is outside, 1-2. That's the kind of race we've got.
Yeah.
If you lose a game to a team in your division, you generally move down a spot. If you win one, you sometimes move up a spot. And it looks like it's going to be that way all year. A 1-2 pitch grounded toward short. This should end the ball game. Uribe on to first, and the Giants have bounced back in this one, winning a 10-inning contest by a final score of 9-6. And San Francisco may very well have regained the lead in the National League West. 9-6 your final in 10. Ernie Johnson has the totals.
Roger Craig's gang show you why they've been right around first place all year long. They rallied. They got 1 1/9 to tie it on a home run by Maldonado, and he came back in the 10th to get the game-winning RBI when they scored 3 runs. San Francisco had 9 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. Atlanta 6 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Robinson the winner. He's 5-2. Johnson a loser, 6-7. Home runs, Davis and Maldonado for San Francisco. Murphy hit his 14th for Atlanta. Final score, San Francisco 9, Atlanta 6, and it sets up the rubber game for tomorrow night.
And that'll be at 5:35 Eastern Time on the Superstation tomorrow night. Scott Gereltz with a 6-6 record will pitch for the Giants. Zane Smith with a 5-8 record will go with a 6-8 record, rather, will go for Atlanta. Don't forget the earlier starting time, 5:35 Eastern tomorrow night. Well, the Giants and Braves have each won one in this series, and will break the 1-1 deadlock tomorrow night here at the stadium. Until then, for Ernie Johnson, Skip Carey, John Sterling, and our entire TBS
Superstation WTBS has presented in stereo America's team, the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves baseball has been brought to you by Bud Light, the light beer with the first name in taste. Everything else is just a light. By Delta, the official airline of the Atlanta Braves. Delta gets you there. By the Coca-Cola Company and your local bottler of Coke and Coca-Cola Classic. By your Toyota dealer and the Toyota Celica. Performance and style that'll make you look real good. Who could ask for anything more? And by Canon. So advanced, Canon is the world's leader in 35mm photography. By CNN, the world's most important network, and a proud sponsor of the 1986 Goodwill Games. And by Headline News, around the world every 30 minutes. Atlanta Braves baseball is a production of TBS Sports.
Cosmopolitan cities in North America.